What's up, Story Do crew? It's yours truly, Snorter. Dude, right now, it's yours truly, Snorter. It's yours truly. Oh my god, I got a list. It's yours truly, Snorter, dude. Right now, better get into Jacksonville Deadly Gang War. This gonna be the final act. This the last one for a little minute. This is 2 hours? If he ain't explain everything in 2 hours, I don't know what to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, due to the length of the video, I'm gonna ask everybody right now to like it. No, like, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. Give you time to like it. You liked it? Okay, cool. Anyway, man's created a 2-hour long video. I'm real live hoping Dix explains everything. And down in the comment section, I want y'all to be my fact check. Timestamp and whatever fact that you think he got wrong, let me know. Fair? That's fair? Fair. Okay, cool. Hold on. Cool. Get into it.
Dr. Phone.
This video is for educational purposes. Mine's too for sure. I did not intend to glorify or condone any acts of me too. I swear to God. Rest in peace to everyone who lost their lives in this story. Okay. No, for real.
Where is Corbin Johnson? The 18-year-old's parents say they dropped him off last week.
Oh my God. I gotta cycle through my videos, bro, because I got a video where I said something about, because I seen this right here.
They did a job interview, and they never saw him again.
Corbin's parents say they have no idea where their son is after his friends called looking for him too.
One boy shot my house up. I was right there on the bed, me and my little brother Quan.
I'm from the north side of Jacksonville.
And the north side has a reputation for being one of the more violent sides, right?
Yeah, that's the most violent side of Jacksonville. Ball Creek, off of the long strip. We go to...
Gunfire erupts in a local neighborhood, leaving one person dead. He was shot and killed in the parking lot of a Northwest Jacksonville apartment complex.
Her family was woken up about 1:30 in the morning Saturday when a brick came crashing through a sliding glass door in the back of their house.
Friday, the city had 3 shootings within hours. One was in Durkeeville, another was off Gate Parkway, and another near 20th Street in Talleyrand.
Those gunshots killed a man in his mid-20s who was standing outside the front door of this employment agency.
3 people were shot, and the search is on now.
Ain't Jacksonville got like Disney parks and shit? No, they got the Jaguars. Orlando got the Disney parks. Miami got the beaches. The bitches. The beaches. The beach. But yeah, hold on. I'm right. I think I'm right.
Now for 2 suspects.
I'm only saying that 'cause I'm like, dang, what if I want to visit? I'm like, I don't really fuck with the Jaguars. I'm thinking of the Disney parks is there, but now I'm like, I can't get on none of the rides. Bitch, I can't fit on them bitches. Yeah. Get your giggles. Get your giggles. Get your giggles. Get your giggles. Yeah.
Shell casings and markers cover the 2100 block of Brooklyn Road. JSO says a suspect fired about 50 shots around 2:30 Sunday afternoon.
The men were driving when another car pulled up next to them and began shooting at them. 22-month-old Aiden McClendon was shot and killed.
4 men were shot.
Shot in the head.
Shot in a mass shooting.
He was shot and killed.
Shot to death.
Shot.
Gunshots.
I heard 6 gunshots.
Man, that should be crazy.
At the start of 2021, a song called Who I Smoke came out and went mega viral. Now, from the outset, this looked like any innocent hip-hop video, with a bunch of nice-looking, well-dressed young men out on the golf course for an enjoyable day teeing off on the green. These young men seem to be known as ATK, okay. Well, it turns out that that ain't the name of their local golf club. In fact, you might have missed something very important if you didn't pay attention at the start of that video. Because when the first guy tees off his golf ball, a bullet shell casing drops to the ground. And once this...
Nigga, that's a leaf. That was a leaf. Hold up. You're not about to start the bullshit early. Nigga, that was a leaf. Let me go back and replay it, and I'm gonna put it in slow-mo.
Well, what a charming... At a certain point, the beat dropped this subtle reference to if you didn't get the name... At the start of 2021, a song...
Hold on. Where do you do this? It's a subtle... Yeah, he gonna go back to himself.
In fact, you might have missed something very important if you didn't pay attention at the start of that video. 'Cause when the first guy tees off his golf ball, a bullet shell casing drops to the ground. Once
It was still a leaf. I don't give a fuck. Play.
this subtle reference to shootings has passed, we then begin to hear a very familiar musical sample, Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles. Well, what a charming song to hit a few balls off the green to, eh? And for the first 30 seconds of the video, all we see is our well-dressed protagonists jamming out to some Vanessa Carlton and having a great day on the course. But at a certain point, the beat drops, and these boys go from Tiger Woods to tie him up and put him in a woods. Because what followed was one of the most diabolical and disrespectful diss songs in hip-hop history. This song, Who I Smoke, goes on to reference around half a dozen murdered gang members, many of whom were only teenagers when they were killed. No real guns appear in this music video, only hidden and coded references to violence, like the shell casing dropping to the ground at the start, or the totem of fake water pistols instead of real guns. So the charming settings of the visuals of this music, combined with the demonic gang shit that the rappers are actually speaking about, unsurprisingly made this piece of media go mega viral. And before you know it, it seemed like everybody on social media was singing Who I Smoke. However, very few people took a step back to understand exactly what or who these gang-affiliated golf course gophers were actually talking about. Since then, countless of hilarious reaction videos have been made to Who I Smoke, along with a handful of breakdowns.
Damn, I'll make a cameo! Damn! I'll make a cameo!
To the heart of exactly why these two groups in Jacksonville have been beefing for so many years. Now, I've spent the last few weeks taking a closer look at this story, and I would say that until now, nobody has truly captured the magnitude of the wild shit that has gone down between these two groups. And after everything I've learned, I'm honestly convinced that this right here is the bleakest, darkest and most disrespectful feud in rap, hell even gang history. Because in many ways, the Jacksonville hoods that the boys involved in this story come from are truly some of the most dangerous and deadly in the entire world. Seriously, some of what you're about to hear today is going to make Chirac look like Disneyland. So buckle up, pour a drink, roll a woods.
Y'all been saying that too. I have not personally said it, but as I sit back and look at it, bruh, the nigga was in the fucking woods, bro. His mama and him. I'm on that part, cause like that, he wasn't even ganging. You know what I'm saying? He was just doing some extra cool shit, trying to be a regular nigga, I guess. I don't know. Well, nigga, all we know is he was trying to escape the shit, get a regular job. Whole time I'm thinking his mom and daddy probably was forcing him to type shit, but whatever. But my nigga, fuck.
Prepare yourself for one of the most craziest and heartbreaking stories that hip-hop has ever seen. But allow me to warn you people, this one is not for the faint of heart. Today's story takes place in Jacksonville in the northeast of Florida. Now, many decades ago, Jacksonville became a consolidated city-county with Duval County. This created one metropolitan area called the City of Jacksonville and Duval County, an enormous area which actually is the most populated city in all of Florida. Now, that's not strictly important for this story, but sometimes you might hear people referencing things that went down in Jacksonville or Duval County. Just know that they're basically one and the same. Now, if you've been a fan of Florida rappers like YNW Melly, then you'll know that guns are readily available in the state of Florida. In fact, the majority of people in the state seem to be armed to the teeth. And much like the city...
No cap. I ain't got a couple from that motherfucker. And I live in where? Indiana. They just sticked up, bro. They sticked up.
Itself, the gangs that roam the streets of Jacksonville have a long history too. Over the past few decades, many gangs and gangsters have called Jacksonville, Florida their home. From Rolling 20s Bloods to Crips, GDs, and Hispanic gangs like MS-13, fleeing other states and setting up shop in Jacksonville. However, the gangsters that we're interested in for the sake of this story are those talented ones who rap. And when it comes to Jacksonville, one of the biggest names to ever come out of the city is, of course, Youngin Ace. Real name Kayanta Bullard, Ace was born in Chicago but moved to Florida as a child. He actually started rapping at the young age of 14, finding himself rolling with a crew of rapping G's called Youngin Gang, a crew.
Bro, that nigga really took that shit down. I ain't think he was gonna watch it, the video, but shit.
Apparently founded by Flip the Youngin and Trigger Romo.
They were older than me, I was youngest.
Oh, okay.
But their name was to spell it like Y-U-N-G.
So Ace, along with his Youngin Gang boys, made songs like the early track Go to War, which came along with a music video where they were showing off some heavy artillery. Hell, at one point a dude even pulls out a World War I looking rifle with a goddamn bayonet at the end. Guess these guys are in the trenches for real, for real. Now that music video introduced us to a few other familiar faces that were around Ace in the early days of his career. That includes Ace's blood brother Quan Quan, or 2 times, and his close homie 23, or RJ. Now this was Ace's first big breakout song, racking up a whopping 100k views in the first week, going on to rack up a Big Boy M. This was the song that made Ace a bona fide rapper. And despite a minor setback with Ace getting sent to jail on a juvenile charge, with his first taste for success in the music industry, Ace would continue to flood the market with music and raise his profile. So with a lot of success in the rap game and a solid reputation in the streets, Ace's circle of influence in Jacksonville would continue to grow, and over time, fans would begin to recognize the faces of people in his crew. Other people include Kobe, aka 4, Fast Money Goon, Rollo, Red Dot, D De Niro, Ray Spaz, Trey Shorty, Crazy K, Sosa, or Scotty. Now, at a certain point later on in the story, Ace lost a few of his day one homies and would...
See, that's what I swear. I know a few of them faces and names.
Move away from the Young, which was originally made up of Ace's day one homies more from the Orange Park and west side of Jacksonville. However, over time and as the story develops, Ace and his remaining friends from the west would grow close to a number of crews on the east side of Jacksonville, forming a new group of crews which would roll together under the name of ATK. Something which most people seem to understand as standing for Ace's Top Killers, but for the record, other people have described ATK as potentially standing for Ace to Kill, Aim to Kill, or just being short for attack. So this crew, as they were known, would soon become affiliated with the Melvin Park area of Jacksonville, with several people that represent under the ATK banner hailing from there, including the supposed demon of Jacksonville, K-So. Now, we're going to learn more about this guy as the story goes on, but let me tell you, he is super scary. By his own admission, K-So will quite literally kill for anything.
I kill you if you staring at my grandpa's bowls. My mama told me kill, cause I be killing niggas. You for real? Man, for real, I be really killing niggas. I don't tell lies. All I do is stay facts. Kill any nigga. I do not care where he at.
He ain't lying. We've also got K-So's
Hold up, bro. I ain't never seen that video, bro. That nigga saying K-So really paid for studio time just to be... Hold up, bro. I gotta watch that back, bro.
Told me kill, cause I be killing niggas. You for real? Man, for real, I be really killing niggas. I don't tell lies. All I do is stay facts. Kill any nigga. I do not care where he at.
He ain't lying. We've also got K-So's brother, Boss Goon, ATKYBZ, and also affiliated with ATK are the crew 1200, hailing out of 1200 block on the east side, a crew which back in the day has been referred to as 187 or Out West. Now this crew is affiliated with an area running from the TIAA Bank Field to Evergreen Cemetery and up to just before 21st Street. Some members of this group have been known to represent under the S4C, meaning Spaz for Corbin, a reference to a fallen friend of theirs. And you might also see Jump Out or Cuckoo Gang affiliated with members of this group too. And hailing from this area are several familiar faces such as Spinner Benz and his...
Bro, if this gonna be something like what Chicago Scene did, shout out to my boy. It's gonna be something like him and this nigga showing his face. Oh wait. Big nuts. That take kahunas. That take kahunas. Man.
His blood brother, Whopper Wit the Chopper, aka Ducci, as well as A-Team Michi, Bevel 5 or B5, Lil Popper, Greenlight, Lil Leaky, and Suge. So, that's the ATK crew. Now, let's have a look at their ops, KTA. But first, a word from our sponsor.
I'd like to thank the Dr.
Hey, shout out to Dr. Phone. Hey, shout out to him, but no disrespect. We got a blast.
ATK's sworn enemies are KTA, which stands for Kill Them All. Not very friendly, that, is it? Just like ATK has its origins in the Youngin Gang, it's been said that KTA has its roots in a more organized crew of OG Jacksonville gangsters called PCE, or Problem Child Entertainment. Now, this is a legit gang that was really dismantled in a 2017 RICO case. This saw over 10 senior members from the PCE operation facing racketeering charges for multiple counts of murder and firearms offenses. Now, this group had actually attracted a significant amount of attention from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office following a tragic January 2016 incident when a 22-month-old baby, Aiden McClendon, was sadly killed after being sat in the baby seat of a car that was targeted in a drive-by shooting.
Hey, no, though, it's crazy. Cause like, you know, like they gonna get some justice for that baby. They don't get some justice for that damn baby or that child. You teenage, you kind of on the fair skin side, yeah. It seemed like they give a fuck less, which is so wild. You know what I mean? But the baby, they on their way. They on their way. For real. No cappery. Yo, let's keep going.
Were able to connect those bullets that killed that baby to the PCE crime organization. And both of the shooters in this case were convicted of murder.
2 guilty verdicts were read, one for Henry Hayes and one for Kwame Richardson, who were tried separately. Prosecutors say both were targeting a rival gang member when 22-month-old Aiden McClendon was shot and killed while he was sitting in a car with his mother on the city's east side.
But to make things even more crazy, it's been suggested that that 22-month-old baby that was killed was actually a direct relative of Whopper with a Chopper and Spinner Benz. But anyway, regardless of that, with this kind of fuck shit going down in the streets...
Who knew that? I did not know that. That's crazy. A direct relative? A little cousin? Nephew? That's a direct relative. What? I did not know that. I ain't get that from the said 2 Raws. I ain't gonna sit there and cap with you. That's crazy. I would never known that. That's wild as fuck.
Affecting 22-month-old children. It's no surprise that the Jacksonville cops ended up cracking down hard on PCE.
Yeah.
But growing up in the midst of the budding gang wars on the streets of Jacksonville is a young rapper by the name of Foolio, aka Julio Foolio, aka Lil Six. Now, this nickname is derived from the 6 or 6 block in Jacksonville, where Foolio hails from, a territory apparently stretching from 45th and Moncrief up to Avenue B, with Foolio specifically hailing from the Hilltop Village Apartments. Now, this area is the north side of Jacksonville, the area which Foolio says is also the most violent part of the city.
I'm from the north side of Jacksonville, 1646 West 45th Street, Bricks, 6. Yeah, that's the most violent side of Jacksonville.
Now, Foolio is considered the most hated rapper in Florida.
Man,
it's easy to see why when you consider how he came up. Foolio said that he had to buy his...
I'm telling you, bro, if you on the outside looking in, I'm talking a lot, huh? I'm telling you, bro, if you on the outside looking in, it'll seem like Foolio versus everybody, bro. I forgot which video I watched where it kind of gave me a little bit more in depth. I think it was probably Trap Geeks one, where it got me just a little bit more in depth. I guess you could say it ain't that way, but on the outside looking in,
his very first gun for protection when he was in just the 7th grade, because apparently he was already beefing with grown men with bigger guns.
A nigga got their first gun in motherfucking 7th grade, 6 going to 7, the Deuce 5, so after that, it was a wrap. We'll always beefing with grown, older niggas, so shit, they always had the advantage and shit of us. Like, they always had the guns and the cars to pull up on us, and you feel we ain't never had that shit.
Foolio's upbringing seems like it was nothing but pain. In fact, his father was murdered when Foolio was only 13 years old, being shot in the head twice in a brutal attack. Apparently retribution after a man that Foolio's father had beaten up a month before needing to get back. Foolio even said that he witnessed his first murder at close range at the young age of 12.
Rhymes, I saw a nigga.
Man, I'm cleaning my things, bro. Bro, it look like I'm doing some weird shit. Hold on, chill out. Damn, I can read the comment now, bro. Oh my God, bro. Fuck, bruh.
Get shot in this shit. But this was in my other dog, this was in West Jackson. I was probably like 12 years old. Jax, he beat the shit though, my dog Boo, but yeah, point blank range, nigga. I was 12 years old saying that type shit though. That shit went down.
Apparently, Fulio also got shot in the leg getting off the school bus, age 50.
We getting out the bus and shit. I ain't thinking nothing of it though. I got my uniform on, books, man. I ain't thinking nothing. I'm like, it's a regular day. This my first day of school. Mind you not, this my first day getting, cause I got kicked out of school, another school for fighting. So this my first day in the alternative school. So boom, nigga ran through the cut when the shooting. I got hit on my motherfucking hip one time.
So having described Jacksonville as a literal war zone, then it's no surprise to find out that apparently Fulio had lost around 15 friends to gun violence before he had even turned 20.
Damn.
In fact, you'll hear Fulio telling his deceased friends to rest up in his music frequently. Names like Vontae, Kendre, and Newski pop up in Fulio's music frequently, but thankfully, being forced to literally dodge bullets on the way to school in the morning as a kid didn't dampen Fulio's spirit. Apparently, he was always a charismatic young spitter and was apparently rapping his entire childhood despite the violence going on around him.
I always been a rapper, like, that's just been me, a rapping that nigga. I always know how to rap, so I would do it.
The first song of Fulio's that got a few 100,000 views was the track Coming Up, and off the back of the success of that song, he would drop mixtapes like Who I Am, before leveling up with the sequel called Industry Invasion. Over time, Fulio would gradually pick up a bigger buzz and more attention in the industry, eventually landing in the studio with some big-name producers. Most notably, Atlanta legend Zaytoven, creating bangers like How You Do It, and the fully Zaytoven-produced mixtape 6 Toven.
Damn.
Now, we'll cover the specific and significant music releases as they pop up during the beef, but for now, let's just focus who's affiliated with Fulio and his 6 Block crew. Also hailing from the 6, no Drizzy, is Fulio's longtime friend and frequent collaborator Kojak. There's Fulio's blood cousin Zion Brown, aka Tweaking Jit or TJ. There's Tiki, aka T Shots, Trey D, aka 8, K Shorty, Spaz 2 times, not to be confused with Spaz from 80K, Lil PD, aka 35, Fulio's young G Bibby, and Dirk, another close friend of Fulio's who was murdered all the way back in 2014 as part of that PCE beef. So that's the majority of Fulio and his 6 Block outlined. But as time and beef went on in Jacksonville, the KTA crew formed out of 6 Block and a few other Jacksonville crews that were all beefing with KTA crews. This includes an affiliated crew from a hood. Jacksonville, the KTA crew formed.
Some of these names look familiar.
Formed out of 6 Block and a few other Jacksonville crews that were all beefing with KTA crews. This includes an affiliated crew from a hood called Vontaland, which includes blocks such as Callaway Cove, the Washington Heights Apartments, and Ken Knight Drive. And Vontaland is where Fulio's friend Rod K is from. You've also got A Block, which really just refers to the Arlington area in Jacksonville, an area which is geographically in the east of Jacksonville, but considered the south side by the people that live there. And now this brings us to the Y&R crew. Sometimes referred to as Dankway or A Block in the past, Y&R is an Arlington-based squad of extremely feared gangsters in Jacksonville, with many of the following members having been associated with, but for the record not proven to have been involved with a lot of the more serious altercations between these two crews. You've got people like Y&R Mookie, Cho, Bree, Lil Ron, Y&R Slugger T, who for the record, being one of the only white guys involved with these crews, seems to attract some pretty crazy and kind of funny comments online. For the record, I think Y&R Slugger T looks like a pretty tough guy who looks right at home in Y&R, and for the record, I also do not want any problems. Anywho, also repping these parts is Baby 9, aka Juju, Lil 9, and Mr. Beatbox himself, Spot 'em Got 'em, who's apparently originally from Lackawanna on Jacksonville's west side, but he's known to rep Arlington, showing love to his set by spending one of the early bags that he got on this bust-down Y&R chain. And funnily enough, on the day of recording this, I just found out that he apparently dropped that chain off a jet ski. Anyway.
Another piece, man. 30 ball in the fucking water. 30 ball in the water, bro.
Like I said before, that's not everybody that's associated with Fulio, 6 Block, or KTA, but just some important faces that are going to be relevant for this story. And just for the record, so that it's super easy for you guys to understand, Arlington is from A Block, which is considered the south side of Jacksonville. Fulio is from 6 Block, considered the north side of Jacksonville, most dangerous side. So that's north and south under KTA territory.
Hold up. The zoo is right next to Fulio shit? Man, I know it's set up when I see it. Never mind, fuck it. Bro, what the fuck?
You've got young Ian Ace, who was originally from the west side, but eventually ATK ended up including a lot of people and crews from the east side too. So basically what you got going on in Jacksonville is north and south beefing with east and west. I hope that makes it a bit easier to understand. So now you know the people involved, the turf being fought over, and the history of crime in the city, you're ready to take a closer look at why these two groups started feuding and how this became one of the most deadly feuds in rap history. Asked why rappers in Jacksonville beef, Foolio said that there were 3 reasons.
Respect, niggas, it be a respect thing, then it be a nigga neighborhood where you from, and then it be niggas dead homeboys. Like you disrespecting my dead homeboys, so now I want to diss your dad. You get what I'm saying?
Well, you are going to see a heck of a lot of all 3 of those things going on throughout this beat. Weirdly, apparently Foolio was even cool with some of the ATK members back in the day, with Foolio having said numerous times that some of the ATK members, like Whopper with a Chopper, having appeared in one of his early music videos.
Whopper and all them type niggas, they used to be in my videos type shit.
Meanwhile, Spinner Benz has said himself that he's been involved in street beefs since the early years of 2012. Now look, it's pretty difficult to trace things back right to the beginning when these beefs kicked off between whoever was involved back in the early days. And it's clear that a lot of the bad blood in the Jacksonville gang community has been passed down from older generations of gangsters that have been beefing over all sorts of things for years and years. But at the very least, there are a handful of inciting incidents that can help explain some of the earliest catalysts in the beef between ATK and KTA. The killing of 22-month-old Aiden McClendon on January 2016 was an early milestone in the PCE gang war. It's been alleged that the drive-by that ended up killing that child was a direct retaliation for a shooting that happened earlier that day. But when you look closer at that particular case, it was actually revealed that things had kicked off a year before this, with these two crews facing off at a Kodak Black concert in Jacksonville. Apparently Kodak was on the road playing a show in Jacksonville when members from both sides found themselves in attendance. First Coast News published an article about the Aiden McClendon case, which suggested that it was actually a turned-down handshake at this Kodak Black show, which led to a fist fight, which led to tit-for-tat shootings, ultimately culminating in the Aiden McClendon case. This beef was...
I mean, that is low-key a disrespect. Like, if a nigga reaches his hands, probably, I mean, fuck you, type shit. That is some disrespectful shit. But damn, that shit start over a handshake though? Fuck.
Was apparently between members of PCE and 187 Out West, the crews that would later evolve into KTA and ATK respectively. So in November 2015, these two crews have a beef over a handshake at a Kodak Black concert. In December 2015, Suge, real name Avery McKnight, is killed in a drive-by that injured 2 others, including a 3-year-old child.
In the last 90 minutes, we've learned 3 people were shot, and the search is on now for 2 suspects.
JSO says they spoke to a witness who saw a black Toyota Camry speed off from this area. This is the area where the shooting happened. The man who died was actually shot right on the front porch of the 2-story house you see just down the street with the rusted roof.
And for the record, it's been referenced in both songs and YouTube documentaries that somehow a bicycle was involved in the Suge killing. Now, as we get into 2016, this is a period where the beef between these two crews gets a little bit hazy. There's plenty of unsubstantiated rumors floating around the internet regarding robberies, fights, and shootings between these crews following the killing of Aiden McClendon. I'm sure there was plenty of bloodshed between these two groups in 2016, but the one thing we know for sure is that the most devastating escalation of this beef took place on May 27th, 2017. On this day, Foolio's blood cousin, 18-year-old Zion Brown, aka Tweaking Jit, was at home with his younger sisters aged 16 and 9. Allegedly, somebody from the ATK side of the beef smashed through a glass door on the house with a brick, entering Brown's home, firing multiple shots, killing Zion Brown, and hitting his 2 younger sisters.
The teenager tells News4Jax that her family was woken up about 1:30 in the morning Saturday when a brick came crashing through a sliding glass door in the back of their house.
18-year-old Zion Brown was the only adult in the home, along with 2 teens, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old boy.
According to witnesses, Thomas broke out a sliding glass door, walked inside, and began shooting, hitting a 9-year-old and a teenager. They are recovering. 18-year-old Zion Brown died at the hospital.
DeAndre Thomas, aka Trey Shorty, was identified as the shooter and ended up facing murder and double attempted murder charges.
Police make an arrest in a shooting that killed an 18-year-old.
Today, police said DeAndre Thomas was the shooter. They charged him with murder.
Story goes, the wounded 16-year-old girl who survived the incident identified DeAndre as the shooter, apparently already knowing him as a mutual friend on Facebook. Now, here's where things get a bit crazy, because that shooter had previously been charged charged as an accomplice in a robbery case with youngin Ace as his co-defendant. Now, a lot of speculation has been thrown around since this incident as to whether Ace had any knowledge of the hit or if he or somebody he knows was even an accomplice there that day. For the record, there is absolutely no public evidence that Ace was involved in that hit. However, the news did say that they believe that Trey Shorty was not alone when he entered Zion Brown's home.
Investigators believe Thomas was not alone when he shot Brown and 2 children.
Regardless, Trey Shorty was later found guilty of the murder of Zion Brown and sentenced to life in prison, where he remains today, having lost all of his freedom as well as his hair. Now, Zion's sister even ended up dropping a tribute song for her fallen brother, and her involvement in this story is going to get crazy later on, so just remember her and what she had going on. But regardless, after what happened to Zion Brown, even with Trey Shorty in jail, the KTA side of the beef knew that somebody else was involved in this incident, and they were looking for get back. In the months that followed, the ops were hungry for revenge on the ATK side of the beef. In a May 2018 interview with My Mixtapes, youngin Ace said that during this period, his house had been shot up with his own mother inside it.
This just be my room right here. Them boys shot my house up. I was right there on the bed, me and my little brother Quan. They shot my mama's house up. They shot this part right up. My mama was in the room. They shot that bitch up. My house always got shot up. They always spent on my shit. But then we doubling back though, for real. Come here though.
However, I doubt Ace could have possibly ever imagined just how bad things could have gotten following this incident. Because soon Ace would be facing tragedy on a scale I don't think I've ever seen in hip-hop or even crime history before. I'm talking about that terrifying and tragic night when Ace lost 3 of his closest friends right in front of his very eyes. On Tuesday, the 5th of June, 2018, youngin Ace was out celebrating the 18th birthday of his close friend, 23, aka RJ, real name Royale Devon Smith Jr. They were seen with Ace's blood brother Quan, real name Trayvon Bullard, as well as their other friend, 4, aka Kobe, real name Jacoby Deshard Groover. And the 4 boys were seen posting on social media in good spirits on their way to dinner.
We on school calling that money out. Me, nigga. I made it, ain't nothing the same, you know.
So these 4 young men were out celebrating and having a meal at the Wasabi Japanese Steakhouse in Jacksonville's St. John's Town Center. This is an open-air mall in the southeast of Jacksonville. Now, while they were there, they made numerous posts to social media, and perhaps it was these very posts right outside the restaurant that they ate at that alerted the ops of Ace and his friend's location. I mean, this image, for example, quite clearly shows the red shutters at the back of that Wasabi restaurant. And I mean no disrespect, but I've never been to Jacksonville in my entire life, but I was able to spot the exact place that they were standing on Google Maps within minutes of pulling up this area on Street View, not even looking that hard. Now, Ace has gone on to say in numerous interviews that he really regrets letting his guard down on this day.
We don't never go out to eat because we don't do nothing fun.
Right, yeah.
So that was like our first time going out like that. And like, I ain't gonna lie, we was slipping.
According to Ace's Vlad TV interview, after the meal, the 4 boys were hanging out in the area and things were cool, perhaps too cool.
We was coming from Wasabi. It was my little brother's 23rd birthday. And, we was just hanging. We pulled up to the light. We was leaving shit. We was really hanging. Like I said, we were hanging out though. We weren't, you know what I'm saying? We was just hanging out though. We had our guard down. That's what it was.
Now, allegedly, a witness said that there was some kind of argument or altercation between the 4 guys and some other boys at the location they had dinner. However, this is a detail that youngin Ace has never acknowledged in an interview. However, what he has stated is that he felt that there were people hiding and waiting in that parking lot for his friends to leave.
Cause ain't nobody just gonna just creep up on me like that.
Yeah.
They have to been sitting outside.
So after leaving the restaurant, the 4 boys got in a car and drove to the intersection at Town Center Parkway and St. John's Bluff, with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office saying that when they got to the red light, another unidentified vehicle pulled up alongside their Chevy sedan, opening fire and then speeding off.
Police say the shooter or shooters pulled up in a car next to the victims at the 295 and Town Center Parkway stoplight before opening fire. Last night we showed you one side of the Chevy sedan full of bullet holes.
This scene was frankly a bloodbath. Some have said that as many as 120 bullets were fired from automatic weapons. And Ace himself later described the scene of the crime in a harrowing
out of a Draco. 120, so it had to been four Drakes? Because they come with 30-round mags, right? Bruh. Somebody listen to Rod Wave. That ain't me. But, bro, that shit's crazy as fuck. Like, bro, I swear to God, bro, around this time of the night, bro, I be looking at stoplights different, like, but I ain't got shit to worry about. Nobody even know what I drive. You know what I'm saying? but it's just like, damn, bitch. What the fuck? I mean, the whole shit crazy, though.
Complex interview.
Oh, you hear shots? I blew at the red light. One of them hit my hand right here. When it hit my hand, my phone dropped. I blinked out, but I could hear my little brother on the side of 23. My blood little brother was behind me, and my brother 4 was on the side of him. I blinked out. I even forget my little brother behind me. I hear 23 screaming on the side of me and like shield him, like from getting hit. You feel what I'm saying? One of my brothers, named 4, he was sitting on the behind the driver's seat. He told me to call the ambulance, but 23 on the floor telling me like, I can't move. I can't move, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, unlock the door, open the door, open the door. He trying to open it, but he can't really move how he want to. So I end up unlocking the door. They still shooting though, you hear me? So I open the door and I push him out. While I'm pushing him out, I'm coming out too though. They ripped my shirt. So, but when we got out, the car was still dry, so it kept moving. So I go put it in the park. But I'm moving around. I'm not knowing how many times I'm shot, but I know I'm shot. I think I got shot in like my legs or some shit. But I got shot in my butt.
Fortunately, Young and Ace survived the shooting, but he was hit 8 times. However, all 3 of his friends were less fortunate and lost their lives. Ace's blood brother, Trayvon Bullard, aka Quan Quan, aka 2 times, was shot 3 times, including a shot to the head. 23, aka RJ, real name Royale Devon Smith Jr., was shot around 5 times. And 4, aka Kobe, aka Jacoby Deshard Groover, was shot around 12 times. I can't imagine how hurt Ace's heart and body were after this incident. Ace was seen laid up in the hospital, hurt pretty bad, but managed to fight through it and recover in what can only be described as a genuine miracle. But it can't have been easy. In fact, a clip even circulated on social media seemingly depicted Ace in the hospital, looking kind of delirious off the painkillers, replaying the incident.
I'm trying to come forward, I'm trying to hold RJ. I'm trying to hold him, I'm trying to RJ open the door. I open the door, I'm pushing him out. I'm like, bro, I got you, bro, I got you. He grabbed my shirt, I'm like, bro, I can't move. He telling me he can't move, I jump out the car. Cope open the door. Cope said, call it anyway. It's compromise.
But to make things even worse, Ace ended up getting done pretty dirty by the authorities and the American health system. Because Ace apparently didn't have any medical insurance, and the sheriff's department that should have stepped in and made sure that he got the medical care that he needed didn't do that, with Ace basically not getting the medicine he needed and being thrown out of the hospital early, with numerous bullets still inside him.
He'd been shot 8 times, and I believe at that point we had 3 or 4 or 8 bullets inside of him still, considering he really needed to go to a hospital. Because he didn't have insurance, the hospital wouldn't take the bullets out of him. So while he was in custody, it was really became that part, it was the responsibility of the sheriff's office to make sure he got the medical care he needed. Sheriff's office didn't give him medical care, they didn't give him antibiotics, and they basically just left him in there.
Ace would later post to Instagram following the incident, saying he got 8 shots to the body but survived, as well.
Bruh. That's fucked up.
Suggesting that he had tried
That's
to shield his
fucked
brother
up, my
23
nigga.
from the bullets, something he elaborated on in heartbreaking detail in this DJ Glad interview.
So I tried to shield him and see, make sure he was good, but I couldn't shield everybody though.
Ace went on to memorialize his 3 fallen brothers in his flesh, tattooing all 3 of their faces onto his stomach.
It's his name 2 times, right in the middle.
Okay.
23 on the side. That's 23 my best friend.
Okay.
Hey, I love him a little bit. Shit.
Now, initially, cops put it out there publicly that this was gang-related.
Right now, JSO is searching for whoever fired the shots that killed 3 teenagers and sent a 4th to the hospital.
JSO says the shooting was not a random act and that one of the victims and the survivor are gang members.
Keontae Bullard, known as Young Ace, is the sole survivor of a quadruple shooting not far from the St. John's Town Center. His 3 teenage friends, Trayvon Bullard, Royale Devon Smith Jr., and Jacoby Deshard Grover, were killed. Ace's friend spoke with Action News Jax anonymously.
Yeah, they killed 3 people, but one of them still alive, so why would they come back for him?
However, despite Jacksonville's amazing detectives working out that this was gang-related, there was 0 arrests made in the case. Another detail Ace recounted with great discomfort in his Vlad interview.
Were there any arrests made in this whole situation? No.
Oh wait, no, scratch that. The cops actually did make 1 arrest after this incident, Ace himself, who ended up in jail, still injured, for violating his probation because he had been seen at a gun store earlier that day holding an unloaded firearm in a gun store, which apparently he wasn't allowed to do.
Police say Keontae Bullard, who is also known by his rapper name Young and Ace, is charged.
How'd they find that out? Like, what? How they... Probably social media. Probably. All right, just gonna keep it going.
With violation of probation.
They worrying
Last
about their
October,
own
Bullard
shit,
was
though.
sentenced to 31 months probation after appearing before a Clay County judge and pleading no contest to accessory after the fact.
Well, police say he had a firearm on him, which is against his probation, of course. So this morning he is in jail, set to make his first appearance in less than an hour from now. It appears some people, though, are a bit upset and angry about Bullard's arrest. JSO says its communications center received nearly 700 calls in about an hour and a half's time because of a social media post related to the arrest. They say the post advises he is supposed to be in the hospital right now, but is in jail instead.
Kent, when we put Kenyatta Bullard's image on the news that night, someone who had been at shooters here on University Boulevard recognized him from just hours earlier. Hours before the shooting, he was shopping at shooters on University Boulevard.
So they had Ace all up in court, denying him bail while he was still suffering from his injuries, with 6 bullets still in his body and Ace struggling to even stand. And after getting to jail, things didn't get better for Ace, because they made him shave off his trademark hair and refused to let him go to his brother's funerals. And hell, apparently at one point they even tried to give Ace the YNW Melly treatment, attempting to pin the blame for the triple shooting on Ace himself.
They were like I said, a lot of people, they were blaming me for it. Like, even the police would tell my mama that, oh, I did it.
Later that month, thankfully, Ace's lawyer was able to get him out of jail, but not scot-free. He was placed on house arrest and had his probation reinstated. But at least...
Bro, that's just a good sign right there. But where they trying to get you, they gonna try to, nigga, do the worst way with you. For real. Oh, okay, we can... Up, this why we could bring them in. Nigga got 8 bullet holes. What? Bring him in? No, nigga. This nigga should be in the hospital. What if you have an allergic reaction to the bullet metals? You get an infection. Oh, you niggas don't give a fuck. We want this nigga in the county jail, nigga, in the courthouse, all this other bullshit. That's, man.
At least he was free and able to get back to what really matters. No, not sweet vengeance, music.
Laying in the hospital bed, they shots to my body and on my mind and my brothers. They say, them 3 didn't make it. Tears full of pain, no other way I can take it. Heartbroken, body filled with wounds, the jail ain't giving my medication. Stuck in confinement, wondering where the hell is my destination. Seeing my mama cry, my motivation. I know I'm blessed, God here to save me. Some say, I'm a walking miracle.
So Ace got out of jail and channeled his emotion and his pain, quite literally, into his music. With a headline track titled Pain, with his song Pain reflecting on the incident and his feelings about it becoming his biggest song at the time. The song Pain was from his Life I'm Living mixtape, which for the record also had the NBA YoungBoy assisted banger Gifted, which makes sense to me because from having listened to quite a lot of Young and Ace, I feel like my best description of him is like a Floridian NBA YoungBoy who's actually a bit easier to understand. Anywho, thankfully, Young and Ace was able to survive this tragic incident, still breathing and still recording. However, there was one person not quite as happy as me to see Ace survive, and that was Foolio. Because if you think disrespecting the dead is somehow something new that was invented by these guys recently, you are mistaken. Because not long after the shooting happened, Foolio took to social media, not only giving the impression that he knew something about the shooting, but also suggesting that he initially thought Ace had passed away too.
Them boy lost the Fortnite match.
Bruh.
Took on up my cold summer alert, man. 2-3 pack, man. Ace pack, bitch.
I don't know what happened to the nigga Ace and his brother and shit. Get well, Ace, you know, condolences to your family. Fuck them other niggas, I don't give a fuck. Fuck, nigga, no, I don't even really fuck with Ace like that. And I don't really too much give a fuck about none of the situation. But you know, nobody deserves to die. But you know, karma is real. Fucking nigga talking about, and all you outside rappers that's mad.
In fact, it almost seemed like every single day that passed, Foolio would find a new way to disrespect Ace and his fallen friends. He was having t-shirts printed, Foolio took to his IG story to tell his fans that he was smoking on the ops, going as far to call them by their government names just in case the police's case wasn't tight enough.
Royale Smith, this that 4X, who else that is? Quan, dun, dun, dun.
Around a month after the shooting, Foolio dropped the song Fuck That, which had disses aimed towards Young and Ace and a reference.
That one clip where it was, what the fuck, bruh.
collapses towards the hip, with
What the
Julio
fuck?
saying he puts on his ski mask, calls up P and tries to shoot threes, saying that chopper turned Ace's team to dust, saying he could have killed a rapper, saying his team are 5 bodies up, and on the chorus of the song, Julio did one of the craziest things I've ever seen in a rap beef ever, saying that the whole city wants to kill him and then rapping his actual home address. Now, this perhaps wasn't such a good idea, considering the fact that Julio would later reveal that the same year that he rapped those lyrics, his house got shot up with his mother catching a stray bullet.
Nah, my house had got shot up.
Taking place on Jacksonville's east side at Philip Randolph Park, with around 1,000 people in the area. The following Facebook video captured the moment that gunshots were fired in the crowd, causing a panic in the park.
It appears to show a woman running from gunfire.
Off last week at a job.
And funnily enough, this claim obviously
is
of Julio and his friend would come on the 16th of January 2019. On this day, Young and Ace would release the song 2 Times Screamin', an emotional track reflecting on that night where his bros, including 2 Times, were murdered. However, on that very same day, only months after being released from jail on a whopping 10-year sentence, ATK affiliate Willie Addison, aka Boss Goon, is performing at the Paradise Club in Spring Park on Bat Meadows. However, after he finished performing, he gets into a car and leaves the venue with his blood brother Queso, their father, and 3 other friends. But when that car gets to Emerson Street near Spring Park Road, another car pulls up, opening fire on the packed Chevy Tahoe, with all 6 people inside the car getting hit. Boss Goon unfortunately didn't make it, with his father describing on the news the grisly scene as he drove the whole car to the hospital after they were shot up.
He was in the truck with 5 other people. His dad, Abdul Robinson, was driving.
I guess 2 or 3 cars pulled up on the side of us, shot inside our car over 100 times. Killed my son in the front seat, shot my son in the back, in the head 3 times, shot my nephew several times, a couple more passengers in there were shot several times, numerous of times, and I drove all the way from there to Memorial Hospital.
This is probably the time when that nigga Queso really stopped giving a fuck. This is probably it right here. About it. Probably the time where he just stopped really giving a fuck, man. In one video, they said they put 100 rounds in the what? What? Come on, man. Them folk wanted everybody gone. Everybody.
Shot in the back, myself twice.
The murder of Boss Goon was nearly worse than the Ace hit. With 6 people in that car all being hit, it's actually a miracle that 5 of them even survived. Which is why it's doubly disrespectful that immediately after this incident, Julio was mocking the recently deceased Boss Goon on social media heavily, saying horrible things like he deserved it.
Family and friends tell me he did not deserve.
That fuck nigga deserved to die. Bitch ass.
As well as showing off a pack saying that he is smoking on Willie.
The American Pie, that's what we gonna call him, the American Pie Willie. He ain't make it, Willie Rollo, he ain't make it.
Ironically, Willie's father told the news following his son's murder that he wouldn't be seeking revenge.
He wants people to know he's not retaliating for the murder of his son.
I want justice for my son. I'm not sending nobody out there. They got quote unquote, I'm supposed to have hits.
Well, maybe he's not going for revenge, but the same couldn't be said for his other son, Queso. In the weeks that followed the murder of Boss Goon, there were deadly shootouts between both of these crews. And 2 weeks after Boss Goon's assassination, 50-year-old Damon Rothermel was shot and killed while riding his bike on Emerson Street. An innocent bystander apparently hit by a stray bullet fired during a shootout between 2 cars involved in this beef.
Shortly after 1 p.m. Thursday, Emerson Street became a major crime scene following a deadly shooting. Witnesses say it sounded like a gun battle between 2 parties in separate vehicles. By the time the gunfire ended and the shooters were long gone, a bicyclist was found in the street on the ground. Witnesses say he had been hit by gunfire. The man was pronounced dead at the scene.
Now, the cops would later charge Dominique Barner from ATK with the shooting of this bystander.
Damn.
And remember that for later because it's important. Because Barner wasn't arrested for that crime for over a year. And over this period of time, he would allegedly continue to be a serious shooter for the ATK side. Now, naturally, all of this activity in the streets attracted the attention of the JSO, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, who swept up numerous KTA affiliates who had been seen in music videos toting guns in what was known as Operation Wrap Up.
6 people arrested in Operation Wrap Up. Right now, police...
Bruh. Bruh. Tell me these music videos ain't doing nothing, bruh. That's crazy.
Are searching for 3 others.
This is some pictures of videos that they've had, and you can see in these pictures that these men or these teenagers actually have guns and they're pointing at the screen. Now, the sheriff says that these 9 people, even though they're still looking for 3, can be linked to some very serious crimes, recent crimes here in Jacksonville.
However, they clearly didn't get the most motivated of shooters, because allegedly in February 2019, Queso would avenge his fallen brother by taking the life of a KTA affiliate incredibly close to Fulio, killing a 16-year-old boy with probably the most famous name associated with this entire beef, Bibby.
Man.
Gunfire erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this 16-year-old dead. Neighbors say that the shooting sounded like a war zone. Sky 4 captured the large crime scene outside the Hilltop Village apartment complex off 45th Street just before 3 this afternoon.
Family members have identified the 16-year-old boy who was shot and killed inside the parking lot of Hilltop apartment complex as Adrian Gaynor Jr.
Yes, several hours ago, there was a large group of people that gathered here at this memorial site to pay respects to the young man who lost his life here. Eyewitnesses are telling us now that Gaynor was being chased to this exact spot where he lost his life.
On February 25th, 2019, 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor Jr., aka Bibby, was shot dead in a brazen attack carried out with automatic weapons at the Hilltop Village apartments in Jacksonville. This hit was allegedly carried out by Queso, and today he is still being held on charges of murder for this case. However, just like we said earlier that Barner wasn't charged for quite some time, Queso would remain free for over 2 years after the murder of Bibby. And I'll be honest, Queso pretty much spent that entire 2 years on a self-snitching world tour. In fact, the eventual indictment against Queso for Bibby's murder included references to social media posts Queso had made where he appeared to mock Bibby's death and take responsibility for it.
The report also says Robinson, quote, posted several photographs and videos bragging about the murder. It took 2 years before police issued this arrest warrant for Robinson.
A few days after the killing, Bibby's mother marched vowing to get justice for her son.
This evening, loved ones gathered to remember a local 16-year-old. He was shot and killed in the parking lot of a Northwest Jacksonville apartment complex.
For the first time tonight, we're hearing from Adrian Gaynor's family, who's seeking justice for his death.
We pray for the mother of God, Miss Elizabeth, oh Father Lord. God,
as friends and relatives gathered under this gazebo to remember 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor, his mom and his grandmother begged for the violence on Jacksonville streets to stop.
Y'all get together and y'all pray. And put it down. Please put it down.
Gaynor's mother says she will not rest until the shooters are captured.
I'm gonna rock this city until they get justice for my baby. Until everybody involved are arrested, I am gonna shake Duval County.
A while after this, Queso ended up responding on social media, dissing Bibby and mocking his mum for calling for a march over his death.
They cremated that.
Bruh.
Poor ass dead nigga. And they got his mom walking around.
No, chill.
March. March. We're gonna get him, March.
Queso also made numerous disrespectful posts about Bibby, including making like funny little animations that I would say are kind of early flashes of the kind of crazy disrespect that we would see later on in this beef when Who I Smoke dropped.
In the air with Bibby, I'm flying with Bibby, Bibby, I'm flying.
But Queso wasn't the only one talking about the death of Bibby. In fact, the entire ATK side were taking disrespect to brave new levels. Whopper with the Chopper even went as far as to post a photograph of Bibby's dead body to his Instagram story along with the caption, "Spit on Dis." A picture which is obviously too shocking to show you on YouTube, and I'm not actually sure if Queso posted this picture himself. I mean, hell, he might have even taken it, but it just goes to show you how far these guys will go. Now, Fulio was particularly close to Bibby. A year after Bibby's murder,
That ain't the one I know. Okay, buddy. Okay. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Let's go and keep it going, bro. What the
dropped
fuck?
a heartfelt tribute song, Bibby's Story, trying to give a more positive reflection on his fallen brother. The music video had tons of throwback footage of Bibby in it, but on the song, Foolio also reveals some dark details about his relationship with Bibby, saying at one point that Bibby had caught a body by the time he was 16, which is the age that he was killed, going on to suggest that Foolio was aware that the murder that Bibby had committed at this young age had been playing on his mind before he was killed. Foolio went on to say, "You was killing shit for me, that's why I want to kill myself," and going on to later rap, "You know I'm killing about your name because you killed for me. He say he smoking Bibby, now he resting in peace." From these lyrics, we can kind of see that Foolio blames himself for Bibby's killing, with it sounding like Bibby was specifically targeted due to his association with Foolio. Now, the song Bibby's Story ended up doing numbers for Foolio, but that didn't stop Queso taking to social media, singing along to the song to make fun of Bibby and Foolio.
Why you had to leave? Why you ain't stay with me? With me? Why you had to leave? Bibby! He was 16 with a body on his belt. Got his ass body, those 16-year-old. Oh my God.
Going on from this, we of course know that Bibby's name would end up being the first and most famous name that was disrespected in that song, Who I Smoke. Thing is, Foolio wasn't lying when he said that there were people ready to kill over Bibby's name, because only a few weeks after the Bibby hit, another attempt is made on Young and Ace's life, once again with deadly consequences.
911. Yes, ma'am. There were, I don't know, 10 shots at least.
Hi. I just heard a bunch of loud echoing pops. Sounded a lot like gunshots.
But it brought me out of a sound sleep. It was several rounds, running through the halls, banging on everybody's door, running outside the building, around, banging on windows. They've come in the hotel, and I was looking out because I could hear them running. 5 of them ran past our door and they were screaming, we gotta go before the police get here.
Yes, on the 10th of March 2019, while in Waycross, Georgia for a show, Ace and his crew are staying at the Hampton Inn Hotel. And whilst chilling outside by the pool, they are ambushed by a KTA hit squad, who let off shots in an attempt to take Ace's life, which unfortunately ends up killing Ace's close friend Rollo, real name Jeremy Alexander Brookins.
The scene of Sunday's shooting, a group of men, including rapper Young and Ace, were near the pool when they were shot at, according to police.
Okay, this is the scene outside our hotel in Waycross. One vehicle down here, the red car. You can see where the back glass has been shot out.
The chief says the 2 victims were with Bullard. 30-year-old Jeremy Alexander Brookins died, and 29-year-old Dwayne Lamont Scott has injuries. Both are from Jacksonville.
It appears so. They were all in the same general area as he was, and they all scattered when the bullets started flying.
A group of men, including rapper Young and Ace, were near the pool when they were shot at, according to police. Jeremy Brookins killed. Waycross police arresting 3 Jacksonville men. Mark Isaac Jefferson, Leroy Gerard Whitaker, and Devontae DeMorris Starks.
Now, this is a truly tragic story when you consider the fact that it hadn't even been an entire year since Ace lost those 3 friends in that first assassination attempt. In fact, Ace has rapped in songs where he talks about that first shooting that killed 3 of his friends, saying that he'd struggled to confront the mothers of his fallen brothers to explain their deaths. Now, I can't begin to imagine the pain and hurt that Ace must be feeling going through this situation, so I certainly don't blame him for struggling to confront the families of those close to him who have lost their lives. However, that didn't stop Rollo's devastated mother taking to the news to say that Ace and the ATK crew hadn't even sent condolences to her.
Of all those boys that were there with my son when he was killed, not one of them has reached out to tell me how sorry they are. None of them has helped do anything, shown any remorse.
Now she's demanding justice in the case of her son. Justice, she worries, won't be coming soon.
Naturally, Foolio would later take to IG Live to say
what?
He was smoking on Rollo.
Rollo? Oh, you rolling out the 100, Laura? I rolled out the Rollo, man. I got Rollo on this bill. Nigga rolling out the Rollo.
And of course, in reference to this incident, Foolio would later end his iconic diss song When I See You with the terrifying lyric, Rollo died with his heat, for speaking on Bibby, an apparent reference to the rumor that Rollo even had a gun on him at the time he was killed. However, the celebrations from the KTA side of the beef would not last for long, and only a few months after the Rollo hit, KTA would suffer a devastating loss of their own. On the 7th of May, 2019, Fulio's close friend and collaborator, 19-year-old Tiki, or T-Shots, is shot in a tan SUV at the 5900 block of Christabel Avenue, just north of the Hilltop Village apartments. Tiki's passing wasn't announced until nearly a month after the incident. However, if you wanted to know the news early, you would only have to go and have a look at Queso's social media, where he appeared holding an assault rifle and quoting one of Tiki's lyrics.
Big lock on me, ain't got no safety. Big lock on me, don't got no safety.
In the months following Tiki's slaying, countless disses against him made their way into ATK's music, dissing the fallen op and saying they're smoking him. Of course, Tiki was one of those names along with Bibby, who was famously disrespected on Who I Smoke. Thing is though, around this time, the ATK shooters were very active. And it wasn't just their enemies being targeted, it was the families of their enemies too. Also in May 2019, KTA shooters attempt to silence the sister of Zion Brown, with this going down on the 2-year anniversary of the Zion assassination. Remember at the start of this story when Zion Brown's shooter was identified as Trey Shorty by Brown's 16-year-old sister, who was also hit? Well, she had actually made a pretty brave post on Facebook calling out Trey Shorty as the shooter and saying that the police are refusing to help them. And well,
no, we gotta read it.
From speaking out publicly and testifying at trial, she was shot 14 times too. Also in May 2019, KTA shooters attempt to silence the sister of Zion Brown, with this going down on the 2-year anniversary of the Zion assassination. Remember at the start of this story when Zion Brown's shooter was identified as Trey Shorty by Brown's 16-year-old sister, who was also hit? Well, she had actually made a pretty brave post on Facebook calling out Trey Shorty.
Woody with the woo. See how I play. Okay, hold on. Woody with the woo. Not doing that. Oh, Woody with the woo. Woody with the woo.
As the shooter and saying that the police are refusing to help them. And well, in a hit apparently ordered from jail by Zion's killer himself, in an attempt to silence Zion's sister from speaking out publicly and testifying at trial, she was shot 14 times.
McFadden says in retaliation to her son's murder 2 years ago, her daughter was shot 14 times in May. She believes her daughter was targeted.
Bruh. I'm still calling her Wolverine.
Murdered by someone from their gang, and that person was sending messages from the jail threatening that if my daughter goes to trial, that he would get somebody to kill her.
Now, the young lady fortunately survived this assassination attempt, and ATKY Beezy, real name Caleb Sheffield, ends up getting arrested for this shooting. But in a shock twist, only 18 days after he's arrested, charges are dropped after he provides an airtight alibi and video footage proving that he was in Orlando at the time of the shooting.
17-year-old Caleb Sheffield is set free 18 days after he was booked into Duval County Jail on 4 counts of attempted murder. Sources tell News4Jax a video proves Sheffield was in Orlando at the time of the shooting.
If he's not the shooter, then that means the real one is still out there.
Now, just when you thought this beef couldn't get more dark, do you remember a young man by the name of Corbin who went missing about a year earlier? Well, in July 2019, Corbin is found under tragic circumstances. According to police, his skeletal remains were found in a wooded area in northwest Jacksonville.
Corbin Johnson's family reported him missing July 13th, 2018. The 18-year-old disappeared not long after a job interview. Now, 1 year later, his case is being investigated as a murder.
Corbin Johnson was last seen alive in July of last year. Then last Friday, a man discovered the victim's skeletal remains in a wooded area of northwest Jacksonville off Utsey Road.
Sky 4 flew over the scene as police investigated. You can see multiple yellow evidence markers and a dog sniffing around the wooded area.
Now, the loss of Corbin is why some ATK members rep S4C, or Spaz for Corbin, and Fulio would later speak on what happened to Corbin in a pretty disrespectful tone, saying what happened to Corbin is his worst fear.
This is my worst fear, bro. If you go on news for Jacksonville, the nigga Corbin real deal got kidnapped. Like, I know he got abducted. Do you know how much sense that make? Cause when you grown, you get abducted. You don't get kidnapped, like type shit. That man got abducted, real like. That's my worst fear. A nigga kidnapping me. I swear to God, bro. Like, I swear to God, on the news it said that man bones got found. Like, That man bones got found. Just bones, I swear to God. They said a nigga was mowing the line and ran over that man bones. I swear to God, I ain't making this shit up. No cap. You gonna news for just right now. Nigga was mowing the line and found that man bones. I swear to God, no cap. Boy, I be down for nigga kidnap me, but I'm finna kick, scream, holler, bite your ass, pinch your ass. I'm finna do whatever, man. Nigga ain't kidnapping me, bro. That nigga Corbin got kidnapped. Real boy, ain't none of my niggas getting kidnapped, bro. Real shit, bro.
Now, with that kind of energy floating around, then it's no surprise that there was some heavy disrespect incoming from the other side. And in September 2019, Queso would make the news. But this time, not for a grisly crime, but instead getting inducted into the self-snitching Hall of Fame by attempting to release a music project with this cover. Yes, Queso took to Instagram to announce the pending release of his new project titled The Bibby Ow, that came along with a front cover that depicts Queso and ATKYBZ quite literally smoking the dead ops, with these people all being pictured and named as Dirk, Vontae, Zion Brown, Bibby, and Trey D, all close friends of Foolio's who have lost their lives. But really, it's Bibby who is the centerpiece, and let's not forget, people, Queso is literally sat in jail right now, charged with the murder of Bibby. I've got to say, this is probably the first time in rap history that the front cover of a project has been so disrespectful, it has literally made the news. Because this cover caused an...
The thing is, bro, with them trying to use his lyrics and shit he posted it on social media, that shit is considered freedom of speech. I can literally say anything right now, right? I can say, I dunked on 10 motherfuckers. Or I could say some, I ain't about to say that. You know, we on YouTube, people. And, you know, we gotta get the chill. Yeah. But anyway, I can say, you know, a whole bunch of stuff, right? Prove it. So, on this particular situation, unless these folks ain't got nothing concrete, DNA, found them with the weapon, you know, something concrete, that I don't feel like that's gonna stick. This is me just speaking logically. Pretty sure he got a little decent lawyer, and he's gonna argue that. If I can make that argument right quick, right, educated lawyer is gonna make that. Now, I don't really know facts of the case or this, that, and the third, but earlier saying in a couple other times I seen folks saying, or Rappamentary saying, that they was using things he posted in rap lyrics. I forgot. A lot of people that's like in the police department, they probably listen to Sweet Home Alabama. They not knowing that niggas rap cap. They don't know there's a such thing called rap cap. I'm not even saying this nigga Queso rap cap, but we know some of these niggas be rap cap. So, who are they to say that shit ain't rap cap? That's all I'm saying.
Enormous uproar in the Jacksonville community, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this front cover itself quite literally didn't play a significant role in the investigation against Queso for Bibby's murder.
Controversial rap album cover is making its way around social media. The cover shows pictures of men who have been murdered in Jacksonville. Local rapper Queso posted the picture to Instagram.
The caption on the post says, y'all DM ATKYBZ and tell him to drop dead and I'ma drop it tonight. This album cover, a local rapper named Queso posted on Instagram Monday, is frustrating for parents like Bonetta McFadden. Her son Zion Brown is on the cover. She says he and some of the other men in the picture were murdered.
It hurts my heart, like, to see my son on there as a joke.
Brown's mother is outraged. She feels like the local rappers are glorifying these murders by putting the victims' faces on the album cover. It's unclear if the rappers are directly linked to these murders.
Now, in response to the uproar in the community over this cover, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office begun to look much harder at Queso and the people around him. And eventually this extra attention would lead to some arrests, but not for quite some time. And so the violence in the street would continue, as did the disrespect for the ops on social media. And even with all the added attention of the authorities and literally being on the news from this album cover, Queso didn't think for a second to switch up and act smarter. No, in October, Queso would use the news clip about his incredibly incriminating front cover as an intro for the music video of his new song, Queso Bitch. Yet another masterclass in self-snitching. Queso rapped countless times that he was smoking Dirk and Bibby, as well as saying Bibby had a closed casket, I'm not surprised, and suggesting that he had shot at Y&R Mookie with a Draco. Now, Y&R Mookie actually clapped back on the song Gangster Talk, dropping the lyric, pulled up on him at the red light, went to ripping in this shit, a line which had a lot of people suggesting that maybe he had something to do with that shooting that left 3 of Ace's friends deceased. Anywho, meanwhile in November 2019, at least Young and Ace is staying focused on the music, releasing dope projects like Step Harder, leaving the street business to Queso. However, with all of that extra attention Queso was attracting in the streets with his criminal activities, or on the news with his disrespectful music, and well, it wouldn't take long for karma to catch up with him and his family, provoking a serious response. On December the 11th, 2019, the ops knock on Queso's door, and when his mother calls out, "Who is it?" from the upstairs window, whoever was knocking gets to pop him, firing shots at the property, with this supposedly leaked police report suggesting that around 27 shots were fired at the property before the suspects fled in a stolen SUV. With Queso's mom apparently telling cops that she believed Fulio or his associates were involved, and the cops later arresting numerous people associated with 6 Block. Fulio reacted to the news later on in an IG Live, saying that Queso got humbled by his mother being shot at.
His mama just got shot at and shit, so that's why he ain't been talking crazy no more. He ain't tell y'all about that. He ain't gonna post that. His mama just got shot at. So now your daddy got shot and your mom got shot at. And your brother died in front of him. Fuck him.
And well, clearly not one to allow any kind of disrespect on his name, within a month, Queso was back on the scene, retaliating. Initially with music, releasing the track Bang It Out on January the 5th, 2020, where he dissed 5 or 6 dead ops, including Bibby showing the Vancouver Grizzlies Bibby jersey that seems to have become iconic in this beef, as well as dissing Fulio's other fallen friends Kendre and Dirk from that album cover, and dissing several other KTA-affiliated rappers like Y&R Mookie, Slugger, and Cho, with Fulio clapping back and dissing Ace and Queso on his response song In the Air that dropped a few days later. On that, Fulio said that Queso's dad is a snitch, he dropped lyrics that refer to shootings at intersections, and saying that he's smoking 2 of the 3 people that passed away in that car with Ace. And well, less than a week after that, it would appear that Queso and the ATK guys were getting busy, because on January the 15th, 2020, just 1 day shy of the year anniversary of the killing of Boss Goon, Queso's brother, it's alleged that KTA member and close friend of Fulio, Charles McCormick, aka Lil Buck, was tailed by Queso and other people, including Dominique Barner. Remember, this is the guy that allegedly shot an innocent bystander off a bicycle during that shootout between 2 cars. So these ATK hitters allegedly follow Lil Buck from his home to a shopping center on Merrill Road. And when Lil Buck came out of a store around 11 a.m., it's alleged that Queso jumped out of the car and shot him dead using an assault rifle. However, in a shocking twist, this hit was witnessed directly by an off-duty police officer who jumped in a car and took chase following the culprit several blocks. And to make matters worse, the shooters, after fleeing authorities, escaped the scene but then crashed the getaway car. The 2 suspects were then caught on surveillance video jumping through people's yards, and at this point it's alleged that Queso and Barner broke into a woman's home, holding her hostage whilst they changed clothes and then made an escape, with this wild crime spree triggering a local manhunt.
Right now at 10, the hunt is on for 2 men who shot and killed another man in Arlington before leading police on a chase and breaking into a woman's home, holding her hostage.
At around 11 a.m. Wednesday, this shopping plaza off Merrill Road quickly became a major crime scene.
I heard 6 gunshots.
Those gunshots killed a man in his mid-20s who was standing outside the front door of this employment agency. Police say 2 men in a gray car pulled up and began shooting him. Some of the shots went through the window of the agency. A surveillance camera from another neighbor's house records the suspects running through backyards and hopping over a fence to avoid capture. Moments later, Police say the men forced their way into this home and held the homeowner hostage while they changed their clothes. The men eventually left and were last seen getting into a red or orange car believed to either be a Dodge Challenger or Charger.
Now, here's something that a lot of people get fucked up about this story. Once Queso and Barner change clothes and leave that property, they're allegedly picked up by a vehicle that is being driven by Queso's father. And it's at this point that he becomes an accessory to murder. However, there's a few people that have falsely suggested that Queso's dad actually had something to do with the hit. That's not the case. But anywho, if Queso thought that he got away from this drilling scot-free, then he was wrong, because a handgun was found in that crashed getaway car, which the police say they found Queso's fingerprints on. But to make matters worse, following the actual killing, Queso took to social media and apparently posted a clip of Lil Buck rapping along with a waving hand emoji and the caption "bye bye," as well as another post of him supposedly showing himself getting a pedicure and an even more incriminating caption basically saying "kill a man, then get my toes done." Now, I looked for these social media posts pretty far and wide, but it seems like they've now been taken down pretty comprehensively. But in the weeks that followed Lil Buck's murder, there was a wave of shootings in Jacksonville, including a 24-hour span in late February where 6 people were shot in 5 different shootings, leaving 1 dead and the community calling for a ceasefire.
Friday, the city had 3 shootings within hours. One was in Durkeeville, another was off Gate Parkway, and another near 20th Street in Talleyrand. In a 7-day time frame from now until March 1st, the Northside Coalition is pushing its ceasefire campaign. The group wants people to resolve conflict and stay away from altercation.
Well, I can tell you this was not fake. And on March the 19th, 2020, we would see one of the most senseless killings in this entire beef. On this evening, an attempt is made on KTA affiliate Kay Shorty's life in a shooting near Portsmouth Avenue and Norfolk Boulevard. He'd been on a date with 17-year-old high school student Iandi Weish when a grey car pulled up in front of them with 2 men hopping out and opening fire with an AK-47. Kay Shorty survived, but the innocent young lady did not.
According to her family, she was dropping off a male friend after the two went on a date March 19th. That was last Thursday. The family told me by phone she dropped the young man off at Portsmouth near Norfolk when 2 men in a gray car jumped out and began shooting into her car.
Kay Shorty posted a picture of the woman with a caption saying that the beef is now personal. However, 2 suspects were eventually arrested for this murder, Roland Ball and Xavion Porter.
Almost a year went by after the death of 17-year-old Iandi Weish. Finally, her family has the answers they've been looking for. Police arresting 21-year-old Roland Ball Jr. for murder and a 16-year-old for conspiracy charges.
Now, I wish I could say that Miss White was the only female to have caught a stray in this feud, but a few months after this, Fulio's girlfriend also got caught in the crossfire in an incident where the ops apparently shot up Fulio's car and she caught a bullet in the hand.
Your girl got shot? Is
My
that right?
car got shot up.
Your car got shot and your girl was in the car, right?
Yeah, I wasn't in the car. She was driving the car.
Did she get hit?
Yeah, but she good though.
Y'all thought I was dead. Yeah, I bet you ain't up score just yet, fuck niggas.
No, bruh. Damn. What the fuck? Went on a little date, bruh. That's fucked up, bruh. Like, what the, bruh? That's fucked up, bruh. Little chick, she innocent as hell. The streets ain't got a hold of her yet. She was just liking street niggas or something. Streets ain't got a hold of her yet. You'll know when the streets got a hold of the chick though. Well, she was innocent as hell, green as hell, looked like. Maybe I'm just judging a book by its cover, but shit.
As the war in the streets of Jacksonville heats up, so too does the music scene. And as 2020 goes on, more and more disrespectful songs are being dropped on both sides. In March, Queso and Jay the Young'un dropped the disrespectful visuals for the song Step on Some, which opens with them setting fire to another Bibby jersey. Meanwhile, Young and Ace is popping up on the King Von banger Trust Issues, with Queso all up in the video sitting next to King Von. Shit, the only couch I've seen with more bodies on it is this one. On April the 3rd, 2020, Spinner Benz drops his song Active, and in this video, he's wearing a Rest in Piss Fulio shirt with a picture of an X'd out Fulio Julio on it. The song also included one particularly savage lyric where he suggested that Julio's mother is part of the war, a reference to the 2018 shooting at her home. And of course, there are the expected usual disses aimed towards Tiki, Bibi, and Trey D. A day after that drops on April the 4th, YNR Slugger T and YNR Mookie dropped the song Murder Twins, which feature more lyrics that seem to hint towards the YNR crew having something to do with that 3-person deadly shooting. Then on April 16th, Foolio dropped something unexpected, the tribute song Kendra Alston. In that track, surprisingly, Foolio says, "We got the same dream, I could never hate on Young and Ace." Now I've got to say guys, this might be the nicest thing Foolio has ever said. You know, there's a little delusional part of me that wishes this could have just been the first step in those two fixing their beef. You know, maybe Ace and Foolio could have got some therapy together, found some...
It's to the point where, after all this shit we just seen, ain't no being cool. Just all the shit we just seen. If it is true, you know what I'm saying? A fraction of it is true. If a fraction of it is true.
Some common ground and worked out their issues. But now, because on May the 2nd, 2020, Spinner Benz and Whopper with a Chopper dropped the disrespectful banger, We the Ops. This included disses aimed at Bibi, Trey D, Foolio and Tiki. They say Foolio got beat up in jail, they diss his mum for getting shot, as well as some lyrics that seem to take responsibility for the shooting of Trey D at the reunion. Now that song had a whole bunch of tough talk in it, which makes it even more crazy that only one day after this track was released, we would see the deadly shooting of another KTA affiliate. Because on Sunday, 2:30 p.m. on May the 3rd, 2020, 18-year-old Antoine DeAngelos Williams, aka Lil PD, aka 3-5, is targeted in a drive-by shooting where 50 shots were fired at 4 people from a white Kia sedan, leaving Lil PD dead.
Shell casings and markers cover the 2100 block of Brooklyn Road. JSO says a suspect fired about 50 shots around 2:30 Sunday afternoon. 4 men were shot. One of them has life-threatening injuries. Police say they believe the suspect in the shooting was in a white Kia sedan and was seen leaving the scene traveling east.
Spinner Benz and Whopper would go on to diss Lil PD aka 3-5 in numerous songs from here on out, but the losses for the KTA side were far from over, because around a month later we would see another famous name from this beef lose their life in a shocking broad daylight attack. On the 9th of June 2020, Lil 9, real name Dimitri Mixon, was the passenger in a car traveling east on Atlantic Boulevard when another car pulled up alongside and fired 12 shots from a rifle into the passenger door of that car. The shooting car fled the scene, whilst the car that Lil 9 was in crashed into a rim shop, creating a shocking broad daylight scene which naturally made the news.
Right now at 10, police are searching for a gunman after a passenger in a car was shot and killed along a busy stretch of Atlantic Boulevard in broad daylight. Sky 4 giving you a bird's eye view. The shooting sent people in nearby buildings ducking for cover.
Just like pop, 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 pop.
And this is surveillance video of the crash following that shooting in Arlington. We've highlighted the black car seen slowly driving down the street. The car police are now looking for in connection with this shooting.
This store where police say the car carrying the gunshot victim crashed into the glass wall in the front. And get this, police say based on the shells that they recovered from the scene, the murder weapon appears to be a rifle. The area where the black car slows down is also the same area where police collected multiple rifle shell casings in the street, leading investigators to believe the shots were fired from the black car.
But to make things even more dramatic, the shocking scene was captured not just by the news, but there was also direct footage recorded from the scene by the surviving driver of that car, which was immediately uploaded to social media.
You wake up. You fought niggas played. You fought niggas played. Fought niggas played.
Now that footage was captured by the scene and posted to social media, I assume in a moment of grief-driven mania. And it's unfortunate that it was, because it didn't take long for the opposition to take that footage and start making fun. Queso reposted that clip with the added caption, "Pussy boys wanna cry now." And after that in August, Queso goes on to drop his song Been Dead, starting off with a music video where they used VFX to put Lil 9 in the blunt that Queso pulls out of the microwave and smokes.
Yo, I only just realized after recording this reference was actually a response to an earlier diss in a music video by Y&R Mookie, where he puts a blunt in the microwave and puts the setting on the timer to 2-3. You know what that's all about.
On that song, Queso also rapped "You Should Have Killed Me at Waycross," a reference to that hotel assassination on Ace in Georgia, confirming that Queso was there. However,
he forgot to mention that Lil 9 is Queso blood cousin. He might touch on it a little later, but I'm gonna mention it now. We found that out in one video. I didn't know it at the time of that video. Now I do.
But despite the ops piling dirt on Lil 9's name, Foolio wasn't bothered, saying that he gets hurt over Bibby but not Lil 9, even reacting to the crime scene footage himself.
Nigga can't diss Bibby because nigga real deal. Bibby was like that. I ain't gonna diss Lil 9. I ain't say fuck Lil 9. I ain't say none of that because I ain't even. He dissing on Bibby. I ain't even say fuck 9. I said yo goof ass reported that man dead. What I said was yo goof ass reported that man dead like this. Like yo goof ass did this goof. Hey, live, if this some real shit right here, like, I need y'all answer. He talking about, get up, wake up.
Foolio went on to diss the driver of that car, Iron Rat, for recording Lil 9 dying, saying that he needs to make up for that.
You nigga played. He kept saying you niggas played. Nigga, you the one who played. Yo goof ass the one who played recording that, man. I know his mama and them hate your goof ass. I know that man mama and them hate your goofy ass for doing it. You put that man dead body on, I know they hate your goofy ass. They Lil 9 birthday, man. The nigga Iron Rat gotta prove something, man. It's LeBron's birthday or some shit today, man. You record that man dead, man. That man ain't happy right now. He ain't happy, bro. 9 ain't happy right now, LeBron. You make that shit look bad. The day I record my brother dead on the ground before I pick up a gun, I get all my brother the right to kill, kill me. Kill me. Like I want what you posted that on his store for followers or something? Like what was you getting out of that? Like posting this man, like what the fuck was you wanting? Some likes or some shit, some sympathy?
Of course, we all know now that Lil 9's name famously made it into that chorus of Who I Smoke, along with Bibby and Techie. And funnily enough, following that song's release, Young and Ace would end up being on Instagram Live in a diner when he gets confronted by Lil 9's cousin, telling him that he's a dead man and saying that Lil 9 got wasted like real-life GTA.
Your ass, though, you dead. Now, Lil 9, that is your cousin. Nigga, fuck your cousin, nigga. Fuck that dead ass nigga. Fuck that dead ass nigga. I'm smoking this dead ass nigga. Real shit, nigga. I smoke more to them. I'm smoking Lil 9 dead ass. Fuck your cousin, nigga. Fuck your cousin, nigga. I'm tripping too. I'm smoking that dead ass nigga. I'm tripping. That nigga been dead. That nigga died. He thought this was GTA real life. Wasted his crazy ass.
After the Lil 9 hit, the shooters were working overtime. And after surviving the attempt on his life outside of Jacksonville in Waycross, Georgia, it was time for Foolio to experience an attempt on his life out of town. Because on the 6th of July 2020, Foolio was in Houston, Texas, doing some business, and whilst he was there, he posted a clip to social media of him outside on a block filming a music video.
Oh yeah, with it. We're in the middle of Texas. Big bro, what you say, gang?
We out here in the trenches thugging.
In the middle of the month.
You hear me, man? You really got my...
Now, Foolio may have...
That was the heat of the pandemic.
...slipped up by posting these pics, because after leaving the shoot, his car was shot up with a bullet supposedly grazing his skull. But Foolio fortunately survived, even going live at the hospital.
Bitch ass nigga shot me but he didn't kill me. On Kendrick. You fucking stupid.
When Foolio got out of the hospital, he even posted a clip of the damage that was done to his truck, that he was still driving and trying to guess what kinds of guns and bullets they'd used.
Ain't shit. I'm still parked out back out the game. I thought I told you I'm a star in the same car now. That nigga shooting his last fucking, I bet this was a Sky 9 or a Taurus 9 or some shit.
He said them boys had a Sky 9. Oh shit. That's like the high points. That was like a 40 bullet though.
Last fucking bullet. Who the fuck y'all was trying to kill?
Foolio would later downplay the shooting, describing his injuries simply as a graze to the neck.
I had got graze in the back of my neck though. It wasn't no big shit though. Niggas didn't have no aim or whatnot. I don't know.
But following the shooting, Foolio's ops were clowning his brush with death. Queso was joking on Foolio, posting the following clip to his social media.
These niggas capping and stepping for real.
A few moments later.
Bitch ass nigga shot me but he didn't kill me.
Queso went on to repost the clip of Foolio in the hospital once again, with a caption saying Foolio just won't die and that his grandma must really do voodoo, a reference to a lyric in his hit song Voodoo. And Young and Ace was also later seen mocking the attempt on Foolio's life too.
Y'all niggas not like that, bro, cause you ain't say that shit when nigga ain't that shot his motherfucking neck. Nigga don't be talking about that shit. Nigga almost died.
These disses against Foolio soon made their way to music, as only a few days after the incident, on July the 10th, 2020, Spinner Benz dropped the KU music video, which featured him smoking a weed pack with Foolio's picture on it, and ending the video by screaming 6K or 6 killers, while showing off their impeccable arms collection.
Going on, nigga?
But if that wasn't enough indirect self-snitching for you, you won't believe this one that went right over your head. Because if you go back and listen to the lyrics of Who I Smoke closely, you'll hear Fast Money Goon basically confess his involvement in Foolio's shooting, opening the final verse of the song saying, "I tote the rocket when I travel, I'm pistol packing in Houston. I was lurking on his page, I caught him lacking in Houston. We let off shots, he got shot and went live. I was tweaking like, fuck man, that bitch ain't die." I'm gonna have to get some sort of self-snitching lifetime achievement.
Hey, look. Now, I ain't say no names. But we all knew who the fuck that boy was talking about. He ain't even had to say no name. He said, "What's up?" He said, "Well, yeah."
Award at this rate. Anyway, the following month, this beef ends up descending into pretty childish territory, as it was around August 2020 that KTA affiliate Kojak was seen pulling up to the ATK hood of Melvin Park on social media.
You know, that's how we do. Nigga know. Nigga know where we at. Nigga hanging out too good, man. Let's see.
Apparently, Queso had said that he would be there to fight Kojak at 4 p.m, but never showed. Foolio also said that they had planned to meet, but Queso turned up an hour and a half late at 5:30, with Queso only being seen spinning the block a while after Kojak left.
Hey, maniac beats. I did not see no motherfucking Kojak. There.
Queso replied saying KTA just came and took a pic and then dipped, telling them to come back.
Took a picture and left. Took a picture and leave. Nigga scary as hell, man. Come back. Right now, come back. Playing 6-9 games, man. We ain't on that shit, man. That link up. I won't even be playing those 6-9 games.
Kojak said that he didn't leave after the pic and even posted a picture of him next to the Melvin Park sign at 4:07. And then Kojak responded saying Queso has security like 6ix9ine at his music video shoots.
Security niggas be escorted with security and shit. Like, what the fuck? I'm on that 6ix9ine shit. You niggas be on that shit for real, man. Niggas go to their hood, make a video. You got security with you the whole time. Like, what type of police shit you niggas? You don't want to keep saying niggas names, songs, all that shit, man. You ain't on no shit, all that shit.
With Foolio and Kojak jumping onto live for a post-op block debrief, with Foolio giving Kojak a little lecture on timekeeping.
That nice ass park.
Nice fucking park. Bitch, I got on the swings. Fuck you talking about. You lucky you're wet out there on the fucking slide.
Boy, your ass had me laughing so hard. And then you told the nigga to pull up and the nigga still pulled up to that bitch on time.
Nigga pulled up, nigga ain't say shit.
And you said 4 o'clock, fuck nigga. That mean you supposed to... You said be there at 4 o'clock. Fuck, nigga, you supposed to be there at 3:45, bitch ass nigga.
Bitch, I was there at 3:45. That's what I'm trying to tell you on everything I love.
After the attempt on Foolio's life, while the quite literal playground standoff between Queso and Kojak kind of lowered the tone of this beef, in September, the KTA team were back on grown man business and looking to take the life of one of their enemies. And on the 2nd of September, they would catch one lacking with fatal consequences. At around 1:30 a.m, officers preparing to change shift at the nearby Regency Mall police substation heard gunshots in the distance. They traveled to the scene and found a car riddled with bullets at the intersection of Atlantic Boulevard and Monument Road. The driver of that car was ATK affiliate Lil Leaky, or Lil Leak. He was found in the vehicle suffering life-threatening injuries and would later pass away. Officers actually pursued a second car that they saw fleeing the scene, eventually pulling it over around 4 miles away at the intersection of Beach Boulevard and Cortez Road. Someone in that second car was also suffering a gunshot wound and taken to the hospital, with officers believing that another person was injured and fled the scene.
News alert from the Arlington area. 2 lanes of Beach Boulevard remain blocked at St. John's Bluff. There's been a double shooting and 2 crime scenes. Police found one of the people who was shot near that intersection.
This investigation spans several miles. In fact, it started when officers at a substation in Regency heard gunshots and then found a person shot right outside, basically, that substation at Atlantic Boulevard near Monument Road.
It's riddled with bullets. We counted 5 bullet holes in both sides of the vehicle. Officers say they found the driver with gunshot wounds in life-threatening condition. JSO says this person has been taken to the hospital and is not expected to survive. At the same time, officers saw another car speeding away. Police stopped the car on Beach Boulevard and found a second person who had been shot. That person was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Police say the 4 other people inside the car are now in custody and investigators are questioning them.
Following Lil Leaky's pass, Spinner Benz posted a tribute on Instagram, with Whopper with a Chopper going on to make a slightly more gangster social media post, saying the ops don't post about their dead homies because they know they're getting smacked. Meanwhile, Fulio leans into disrespecting Lil Leaky, posting a clip of him smoking a pack.
Come on, man. You know I keep that leaky, man. Boy, this dead-ass nigga, boy. Dance, nigga.
Meanwhile, Fulio posts himself smoking a pack. That was followed by another post, which interestingly had a background song, the track When I See You by Fantasia, the song that Fulio would later remix to Diss the Other Side, along with a picture of Leaky and a caption saying new pack and asking why the ops are quiet today. Followed by another post saying Ace must be sick to his stomach right now. But almost as if he wasn't quite sure if he was getting into hell yet, Fulio doubled down on the disrespect, popping up on IG Live to ask once again, why are the ops so quiet?
Ops ain't talking today, man. The ops, these niggas usually be happy on Facebook, joking, Facebook comedians. Niggas ain't said nothing today, man. This shit crazy. Yeah, man, these niggas sad today, man. But you know I'm smoking. You know I'm smoking a little leaky. Got that little leak, that new pipe. Niggas ain't tweeting. Niggas ain't saying nothing. Them niggas humble now. I'm talking about these usually be the niggas that's on Facebook making 12 statuses a day like these. Boy, they make a whisper today. Man dead, that man sleepwalking right now. It's gonna be your reality right here. You see this blunt? Look. This beat fire your ass up. You was just this, look. I know fuck nigga taste good too. They already crying and sad right now. These fuck niggas for me. At the funeral, Alexa, play Rod Wave Pain.
Hell, it would turn out that Fulio was so happy over this drilling, he went on a goddamn field trip to a weed dispensary to get custom Leaky packs printed.
All the plugs, man, nigga, we got any flavor, nigga. Any dead art, nigga. Stop fucking playing on my top, man. Put this nigga ass on the screen. Leaky packs. Hey, exclusive Leaky packs on the way, man. Real gas. This ain't that fake ass. Niggas coming here and buy turtlenecks. If you claim you a weed smoker, this go for anybody. I'ma need y'all to get these leaky ass. Fuck niggas real czar, man. You know what I'm saying? Real dead nigga back from the dead. His ass came back to life, man. This real czar. This ain't no fake ass czar neither. Fuck you talking about that little fake shit you niggas had in the past and shit. This a real exclusive dead nigga who woke his ass.
Ever since the hit on Lil Buck, Queso's days were numbered. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office wanted Queso and his dad in cuffs nearly as much as the ops wanted them dead. However, in the days leading up to his capture, Queso would go back and forth with the ops on music. On September the 3rd, 2020, Fulio disses the other side with his song Fast Life, where he says, killed my dog, killed 3 of y'all, so that means we over equal, which I assume is a reference to the Zion Brown hit, followed by the 3-person car shooting. He also says that his fallen friends Trey D and Tiki are on his mind, which gives him a bad temper, and says if you diss on Bibby's name, you're gonna die, simple, as well as saying that he's smoking on Queso's brother Willie. The day after that song dropped, on the 4th of September 2020, Queso dropped the response song, a track called Back to Back. Now, this song was pretty bold. In the chorus, Queso says, back to back we drillin', back to back we killin', something which, if these allegations are true, we know he was literally doing. Elsewhere in the song, he says, we're the ones who dropped your man, buried your partner. He says he'll let the Draco dance and watch you do the Bibby dance. He says, let me tell you a story of how we caught him and ripped off. I hit the corner and tore his ass up. I heard they killed the dog. He says, I aimed for his head so I know for sure he dead. I mean, considering the fact that Queso is literally currently accused of killing Bibby, the release of the song Back to Back is incredibly bold, if completely idiotic. And naturally, all of that self-snitching really didn't do Queso any favors, because exactly 1 week after that song released, both Queso and his father are taken into custody by the police.
Developing now, a father and son have been arrested in connection with a deadly shooting at an Arlington shopping center. 21-year-old Hakeem Robinson and his father, 49-year-old Abdul Robinson, are both in the...
Bruh, I gotta go listen to that song, bruh. I gotta go listen. Bruh, he really said that? I gotta listen, bro.
In the Duval County Jail, Hakeem Robinson is charged with second-degree murder, and Abdul is charged with accessory after the fact.
Now, the next thing I'm about to say is pretty important because there's a few videos floating around YouTube at the moment that are getting these details dead wrong. So the cops got a big break in the case against Kesu, where they found a snitch, aka a confidential informant, who gave the police key details on the case and Keso's role within it. Now, remember Dominique Barner, who was accused of being on the Lil Buck hit with Keso? Well, he gets arrested in February 2020 for home invasion. He later gets charged for second-degree murder for his role in the killing of Lil Buck, and he is then subsequently charged with murder for the killing of Damon Rothermel, who was shot off his bike by a stray bullet in the shootout between ATA and KTA. So Barner is sitting in jail through most of 2020, with Keso and his dad getting arrested in September. Problem is, a lot of people have incorrectly labeled Dominique Barner as the snitch or confidential informant, and it probably has something to do with this very badly worded report on the news breaking down the case against Keso.
So many aspects of this, Mary, I've been going through all day and starting to piece things together. You have a variety of suspects, a variety of victims, different links for different cases, but you start to see that web you described between all these homicides. And I want to talk to you about one thing that happened here. Police were able to make their case against Robinson because of a confidential informant.
Now, if I was this news reporter, I would be very scared. In fact, this guy's lucky he hasn't already caught a stray, because he points at a picture of Dominique Barner's face when he says confidential informant. This is the moment he fucked up, because as a result, a lot of people on the internet think Dominique Barner is the confidential informant as a result of this clip. That is not correct. And just in case this news reporter doesn't know it, naming somebody in the streets as a snitch who is not can be deadly, for them and for you. But if you read between the lines, you will actually understand that another person, an unnamed confidential informant, i.e. snitch, whose identity is confidential so we don't know who it is, don't be pointing at somebody's face when you say confidential informant, unless it's mine. So this anonymous snitch, who we don't know, basically wore a wire and recorded a conversation with Dominique Barner. Now, this was likely a conversation in confidence, with Barner having no idea that he was being recorded. And in this call that he was having in confidence, Barner revealed details about the murder that were recorded on this wire. Barner admitted that they had followed Lil Buck to the shopping center from his home, and Barner was later forced to acknowledge his involvement in the incident in the face of the irrefutable evidence that had been recorded against him, with the feds suggesting that Barner admitted that Keso wanted to kill Lil Buck for dissing Boss Goon on a song. But for the record, it's not entirely clear which details were recorded on the wiretap and which were confessed to the police after the evidence was presented. We don't know. That guy on the news certainly doesn't know, so just keep that in mind. So what we do know is that an unnamed snitch, confidential informant, was able to get the feds details on Dominique Barner's involvement, Keso's involvement, and Keso's dad's involvement. Frankly, this isn't a great look for the long-term possibility of Keso being free. And after his arrest, he was seen in jailhouse attire and a face mask, looking pretty defeated. In fact, after Keso's arrest, the cops take an even closer look at the connection between the music and the violence.
Now learning more about the arrest of a man in the fatal shooting of a 23-year-old rapper earlier this year. And this arrest is starting to expose a tangled web of gang-related murders here in Jacksonville over the past 2 years.
In fact, except for that one guy who wrongly labeled Dominique Barner as the confidential informant, the news actually went on to do a summary of the Keso case that was so good, they might as well have opened up a Jacksonville branch of Trap Law, Inc.
January 16th, 2019, rapper Willie Addison is killed. 5 others wounded in Spring Park. The victims had just left a rap music event at Paradise Gentlemen's Club on Bay Meadows Road. Then, around 2 weeks later, Damon Rothermel is shot and killed riding his bicycle on Emerson Street, hit by a stray bullet from a shootout between cars. Fast forward a year to this past January, 23-year-old Charles McCormick is shot and killed in Arlington. On Robinson's Instagram, there was a story posted of a child singing a song entitled KSO Homicide by rapper Young Ace, a local rapper who has made headlines before. The video was posted after the murder of Charles McCormick. Also another story, which depicted Hakeem Robinson at a nail salon receiving a pedicure with the caption, "Kill a N-word, then go get my toes done." Hakeem Robinson is charged in the McCormick killing. Brought up a story involving him last year where there was an album released that by him, and the screen grab on the image of the album showed different homicide victims in the area.
Now clearly Queso wasn't the only shooter in ATK, because just over a month after his arrest came possibly the most devastating loss to the KTA side in this entire beef. On November the 19th and 20th, there are back-to-back shootings at the Hilltop Village apartments. That's where Fulio's from, and that's where Bibby was killed. Now, some of the details about the incidents that went down over these couple of days are a little bit unclear, but what we do know is that over the course of these nights of violence, 2 of Fulio's close friends would lose their lives, Spaz 2 times and Rod K, with numerous people going on to drop lyrics that seem to suggest that Rod K was actually attempting to avenge Spaz when he was gunned down. However, for the record, this version of events has been disputed in an unverified Reddit comment purporting to be from Rod K's brother, suggesting that he was just out.
Rod K was actually my actual brother. Y'all stopped with, he was killing on dogs, getting blunts and shit. Y'all thought that was what.
Out buying blunts when he got shot. In response to this, Young and Ace posted a screenshot from Fulio's upcoming music video with a caption saying, "This video's got 2 dead people in it and it's only been 4 days," with Ace going on to diss Fulio's losses even further in a post on social media.
Since the mom sent their ass back the same way, back in the box of talking about gotta check the scope. Nigga need to check the scope.
Fulio downplayed the loss of his friends in an IG post, saying, "It ain't getting to me because nothing can get to me, because that's what the streets owe us. The world gon' keep going. I'm really disappointed, but I'ma keep focused." But the ATK guys weren't letting up and continued mocking Fulio, with Whopper disrespecting him heavily on the story.
The ops got the audacity to say that they up. Yeah, y'all ass up in the motherfucking sky. That's the only place your ass up at too.
And Ace himself going live to do what seemed to be a feature-length self-snitching session.
Congratulations, bitch. God, clap, bite. Everyone who said so. But everything that said something, nigga know I do this to their ass. You're in the dead, you said 4. 2 of them just died. What you want? What? You that, I bring that shit to these niggas, bro. I've been so distracted by these bodies, I don't even know the scope no more, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Hold on. Fuck them niggas up in the apartments. I won't say their name, but I white talk that boy. There's not no play shit. These niggas really dead and they not coming back, bro. I fuck these niggas from them apartments. I won't say that nigga's name, but I white chalk them. I need to get off live because I might fuck around and say some shit that I ain't supposed to say.
In response to this devastating loss
And
and
it was probably
subsequent
drunk.
disrespect from the ops, as we end 2020 and go into 2021, Fulio ups the levels on the disrespect and drops numerous songs addressing the other side. In December 2020, Fulio drops Double That, a song about him having a supposed $50,000 bounty on his head, a threat which Fulio clearly ain't tripping about. That man is braver than I will ever be. In fact, this is actually the music video that the ATK guys were clowning for having dead people in it. Anywho, Fulio clearly wasn't content with just this drop, going on January the 19th, 2021 to drop his Back in Blood remix. Posing on a bed with the name Leaky spelled out in money, a reference to the recently slain op, with Fulio going on to give his listeners pretty much a PhD in self-snitching. Right up to the point where people in the comments were basically saying that the cops are going to be bumping this one heavy in the squad car because of all the details. Fulio says in the song "We Shot Up Your Brother," which to be honest at this point could go for either Ace or Queso. And Fulio also suggested that the ATK side had nothing to do with his fallen friend's Dirk's death and that they're false claiming. 2 days later, in response to this track, Spinner Benz dropped a beatbox remix of his own, not providing any new information, but definitely dropping back-to-back disses against Fulio. However, unfortunately, following the double murder of Rod K and Spaz, the KTA side would come through with a tit-for-tat response that would leave the ATK team double grieving once again. On Sunday, February the 21st, 2021, close friends of Spinner Benz and Whopper with a Chopper, Michi and B5, who are also senior figures in Youngin Ace's A-Team management, are in Orlando, 2 hours south of Jacksonville. According to police, at some point they interacted with individuals in another car. Shortly after that, they were driving down Colonial Drive at around 2:15 a.m. when another vehicle pulled up alongside them, opening fire. Orlando police responded to reports of a crash at 2200 block of East Colonial Drive in front of the Wendy's restaurant. And when officers arrived at the scene, they found Michi and B5 in the vehicle, pronouncing them both dead at the scene.
New at 10, we're asking questions about the death of 2 local men who were killed in Orlando. It happened just after 2 on Colonial Drive. This is new video from the scene. Orlando police say the men were driving when another car pulled up next to them and began shooting at them. And these are new pictures of the victims. On the left is 31-year-old Brandon Bevel. On the right, 25-year-old Darian Solf. According to police, the men were in Orlando for a night out. There's no word on a possible suspect.
Spinner Benz reacted to this with a post paying tribute to his fallen friends and vowing revenge, saying that he lost his big bro, his CEO, and his big homie all in one go, but that they won't be the only ones leaving this earth. Meanwhile, Fulio was posting on his story that the ops are crying today, as well as atting the deceased Michi, saying the A-Team CEO is gone. Fulio later went on an IG live session dissing Michi, suggesting that Michi had helped Ace get his homeboys into bad record deals like Suge Knight would have done.
Michi was their CEO. Going on nigga page right now, that video still say 18 CEO, management, Spinner Benz, and yo, they CEO just died, man. Real deal. Dead. The boss man gone. So that's why they need Ace right now. Ace signed they ass to a $5,000 contract. You locked in for life, bitch ass nigga.
Bro, what?
I respect Ace for that. You really did Suge Knight on niggas.
Spinner Benz replied to the disrespect, saying that the ops have more dead homies than he does. And exactly a week after the hit on the 28th of February, Spinner Benz drops his new song, Drill Time. A video starting off with a pretty unique trigger warning, but not the usual trigger warning that you'd find on an unemployed graduate's tweet. This warning said that this video might trigger nightmares in the ops. And on this track, Spinner Benz did some crazy self-snitching, including saying that he knew Rod K was dead before the police did, as well as saying he wants Fulio dead, calling him by his government name. But of course, the most iconic anthem of self-snitching in hip-hop history would be released the following month. And soon the entire world would know and be singing along to every single dead op that the ATK crew took pride in smoking. It's almost poetic that only a week before the song Who I Smoke released, the track that's famously disrespecting Bibby, that Queso is formally charged with the murder of Bibby.
Hakeem Robinson sits in Duval County Jail with 2 separate murder charges. His latest arrest is in connection to the 2019 murder of 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor. Robinson has been in jail since September in connection to the 2020 murder of Charles McCormick Jr. His father, Abdul Robinson, is also in jail, charged with accessory after the fact in that same murder. A witness told police Hakeem Robinson shot Gaynor at a close range. Detectives say Robinson bragged about Gaynor's murder. Gaynor's nickname was Bibby. His mother says Robinson named an album after her son called Bibby Out. His picture is on the album cover.
Hakeem Robinson has already been here in Duval County Jail, serving time for a different murder in 2020. He was served an arrest warrant last week in connection to Adrian Gaynor's murder, and as long as Robinson is in jail, Gaynor's mother feels the community is safe.
Meanwhile, the cops are still looking for Queso's brother, Abdul Robinson Jr., who has been wanted by cops since February in connection with Lil Buck's murder. Funnily enough, this whole family-run fiasco actually made the cops look much closer at everyone involved in these shootings, especially Queso's dad, with the cops having already pointed the finger at Abdul Robinson Sr., suggesting that he is a senior figure in the ATK crime organization.
In a news conference last year, JSO says the Robinsons are part of a violent drug trafficking organization called ATK, also known as Ace's Top Killers. Police say the group consists of 9 people. Abdul Robinson is the leader.
9 people, potentially responsible for 15 murders that we know of, and who knows what else.
As more evidence / self-snitching piled up, the cops continued expanding their investigation, further targeting ATK as a full-blown crime organization, going so far as to name Queso's dad as a 30-year Jacksonville crime family boss.
Yeah, he's on a list of group of individuals who police say are in the ATK gang, Ace's Top Killers. Here he is. Right here, there is the picture.
JSO says Abdul Robinson ran a crime family centered around drugs for decades.
There's many names for ATK. Ace's Top Killers is one, but it's led by a man named Abdul Robinson, who's been a central crime figure in Jacksonville for probably the last 30 years plus.
He added the pair, along with several others, could be connected to numerous unsolved murders in the city.
In fact, ever since this info has come to light, throwback footage of Queso's dad running in the streets of Jacksonville has even emerged and begun circulating on YouTube. Anywho, with Queso and his family sat in jail royally fucked, the feud between ATK and KTA would continue. In the streets, on songs, and weirdly, on Clubhouse. Because only 2 days before Who I Smoke released, on the 26th of March 2021, Ace and Foolio end up talking to each other directly in the same room on Clubhouse, with them apparently being joined by surviving members on both sides of the beef, including Zion Brown's sister, who ATK tried to kill twice. And this led to a pretty bizarre conversation that most fans of Jacksonville rap would have never imagined would happen. At one point, Foolio basically retells the story of a fight that he had with ATK's Lil Popper at a Jacksonville mall back in 2018.
I don't
with
think he
Foolio
ATK,
arguing to
buddy.
Ace that he was fighting with Popper much longer than the video shows.
I watched you grid, but that shit.
But no, you didn't. You probably found a pussy ass YouTube video. That shit went shit. The fuck? And then we were really fighting on, bro. We were really fighting longer than that. That nigga know that. Like, I fought that man. We were fighting for at least 30 seconds to a minute. That's a long ass time. People don't know.
Also in the call was apparently Lil Nine's brother, 23K, who was going off on Ace any opportunity that he had.
Hey, Bit Nine, you think I don't know how to fight, Bit Nine?
You don't know how to fight. Hey, bro, I would knock your shit out, bro. I would beat the fuck out of you.
Huh?
Bit Nine.
Y'all gonna get y'all ass shot.
Hey, you gonna do that though, Foolio?
Do what?
Shot dead in y'all face.
You said I did what?
TK.
What?
Huh?
Oh, man, listen, but that's my brother for real, man. Hey.
Hey, Bit Nine.
Bro, what? Green ass nigga?
Don't yell at me. Yeah,
Hey, I know what type of nigga y'all live too. I swear to God, boy. Boy, you niggas funny.
Bit Nine, hold on. Bit Nine. Stop yelling at me, bro. Real shit, bro.
Nah, you gonna get sent up there.
we thirsty, huh, Foolio?
You better stop yelling at me, boy.
You gonna get sent up there.
No, you better stop yelling at me.
You
I'll
gonna
make you
get
yell
sent
for your
up
mama, boy.
there. Send a nigga to meet that fucking man.
What man?
You wanna find out?
Yeah.
That's not the same thing.
I fuck with you, Bit Nine. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Yes, it is, bro.
Even though you be talking shit, I'm on your ass. I fuck with you.
You know, once again, for a split second, I was thinking, hey, maybe these guys will
Nah.
settle their beef on Clubhouse, have a nice little chit chat and become friends, but of course not. 2 days later, on the 28th of March, 2021, Young and Ace, Spinner Benz, Whopper with the Chopper, and Fast Money Goon will drop their game-changing song, Who I Smoke. A track brutally dissing a whole bunch of ops, including Bibby, Tiki, Lil Nine, Lil PD, Trey D, and Rod K, with the song itself going insanely viral due to the Vanessa Carlton 1,000 Miles sample devilishly remixed to make their lyrics about smoking dead ops irresistibly catchy. Before you knew it, Who I Smoke had racked up millions of views, and the YouTube culture vulture community was circling, with countless reactions to the viral hit circulating online.
I don't know why a song be sounding so fire when you dissing the niggas you killed. Like, I don't know what it is. He said he smoked Trey D or something like that. I'm like I was with the Avril Lavigne. I was hitting the Carlton. Then as soon as I'm sorry. Who this nigga right here? I don't know this nigga, but this nigga look like he actually did the murder. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Boy, the white girl and me just came out. That's how every black nigga be cleaning their house up listening to this shit. I be in the kitchen with some socks on, doing the moonwalk, all kind of shit. You know the shit official if he do the famous point.
If I could find spirit fingers, bring it on. Hey, don't act like I'm the only nigga in here that watched Bring It On before, bro. Fuck up out of here. All y'all niggas have seen Bring It On.
Now, it's bad enough grieving your deceased loved ones without the entire internet singing that they're smoking. And naturally, Who I Smoke was very upsetting for Foolio to hear. In response to that song, Foolio immediately took to IG, showing fans that he had quickly pulled up to the ATK hood of Melvin Park, defacing the sign, writing things like fuck 23, fuck Ace, and RIP Rod K on it, as well as claiming that Ace's old hood belongs to him now.
A big VL shit, nigga, this our hood right now. Our hood right now, nigga. We pull up to the art shit, this our shit now, nigga. Nigga drop this, nigga. Park y'all bitch ass out, nigga. Man, we parked that another nigga shit all in the park, nigga. This our shit, nigga. No doubt, we all through this bitch. Smoking Big Keith, smoking Big 23, smoking Mito Melvin, all that shit, nigga tripping, man.
While he was there, Foolio even gave out dollar bills to the local kids on a 6ix9ine ting.
Real, we at Melvin, man. That love, dollar, bro. I appreciate that, you hear me? $1,000 for you. Couple one, huh?
Thank you.
Hey, love. 100. Huh?
Just diamonds?
Yeah, these diamonds. Holla, bro. Huh? Y'all want $1? Huh?
But Fulio was really in Melvin Park to record a music video for his beatbox remix along with Kojak. Spending enough time on the op block to record an entire music video with enough time to spare at the end to kick back and chill on the swing set before briefly showing off the face of the cameraman who enabled all of this disrespect, surely marking him for death.
Swang in a minute, so we came to the ops block and did it. No. Hey, we ain't do that shit in a minute.
That boy ain't about to do nothing to that camera, man. That nigga trying to get paid. Fuck out the other shit. He trying to get some money.
Minute. We came
he
to
doing
the
freelance work. That's all he doing.
ops block and did it. Nigga, we out there, bitch, litty in the city.
Fulio and Kojak dropped their
Like, I'm
remix song
not knowing
a few
nothing.
days later, and the comments for that video were pretty hilarious. Some were saying that this video is the perfect evidence for the cops. Others imagined parents coming back to find their kids and witnessing these nutters playing in the park, while others pointed out that Fulio references the names of so many dead ops in this song that it sounds like he's taken a classroom attendance. And I'll tell you what, he really did name a lot of people. I won't waste my time listing all of them, but they basically diss everybody that we've mentioned has been killed from the ATK side, as well as a few other names that I didn't even recognize. And Fulio would later say in a live that he had only mentioned around 15% of the names that he could have mentioned.
If we doing the whole 100%, that was like 15% of dead niggas' names I said. Only 15.
But that wasn't enough get back for Fulio while the whole
Wait a
world was
minute.
still out there singing that they were...
The nigga said like 10 in 3 seconds. And that was 15%? Okay, buddy. This is getting out of hand, buddy. Now it's getting out of hand. God damn.
Smoking on Bibby. So Fulio would go on to make his own remix of Who I Smoke, dissing the usual dead ops, and saying that he was in their hood the same night, referring to going to film that beatbox video in Melvin Park.
I heard who I smoke, I was in their hood the same night.
But that wouldn't be enough either, oh no. Soon, Fulio took to live once again to diss Ace,
Never mind, I ain't even gonna
details
address it.
from the scene of
Just
that
know that's a
original
fake ass
quadruple
upload.
shooting.
4 niggas hit up, 3 died. Like, that's some movie. That ain't no movie shit, y'all. Like, that's some movie shit, bro. This man head landing Ace loud. And Ace talking all that shit, talking about nobody never played with him. Boy, your blood brother died, boy. Stop playing out here, boy. Your blood brother died, boy. Quan dead, boy. I always remember, boy, your mama's son died, boy. Your mama's son died, boy. Stop playing, boy. Your best friend here was laid in your lap, crying for help. Fuck, nigga.
Fulio then went on to list all of the dead people he is smoking on once again, and forget the classroom roll call because this time Fulio called out more names than the goddamn credits of Saving Private Ryan.
Meechy, Leaky, Shug, Agafool, Corbin, Spaz, motherfucking Prosper, Tay, Desi, J5, Big David, 23, 4 times, 2 times, Ronald, motherfucking Eldridge, motherfucking Linford, motherfucking hey man, Bando, Amp, man, I smoke a lot of dead niggas, man. Them niggas keep me going, man. Real shit, I wake up, them niggas keep me going, man. Hey, it's so many of them niggas, I be put. Sometimes I swear to God, no funny shit, I be forgetting some of them niggas dead. Quan, and I ain't talking about Quan, I'm talking about the other Quan, then Quan. I ain't so many dead ass niggas. Keys, know what I'm saying? Keys. No niggas smoking Keys. Big Meechy. 5, J5. I'm smoking J5 and the other nigga 5 who got smacked with Meechy. I'm smoking 2 5s.
After Fulio posted that, the detectives probably got to go home early. But the disrespect was far from done, because in April, clips began to circulate seemingly depicting Fulio at a grave site, which some originally thought belonged to Ace's fallen brothers, but in his defense, Fulio later revealed that this was just a random cemetery.
They said I went too far because I went to a graveyard, right? I want to say some shit, but nah, I wasn't at nobody graveyard. I wasn't at nobody, none of my ops graveyard graves, like, none of that shit, man. I want to know who came up with that shit in their head and said Fulio on his shit. I ain't do that shit.
However, even if it wasn't the real gravesite, Fulio was not holding back on the disrespect. Later that day, posting jaw-dropping clips of him driving around with pictures of the 3 people who died in that quadruple shooting, showing whole new levels of disrespect.
I don't know about when them niggas was in the car with Ace and all that shit, how that shit went down, but listen, car with me, they gonna be safe, nigga. Safety first, nigga. Keep your seatbelt on, buckle up, nigga. Fuck. Y'all ain't lacking in this car. You ain't gonna go down like that in this car, man. Scoot over, Quan.
What are you doing? The fuck 23 hold, man. Come on, man. We going, y'all being some badass kids, man. Come on, man.
Now this turns out this was all for the song and music video for When I See You, the direct response to Who I Smoke. Released on the 23rd of April 2021, When I See You is so disrespectful that unlike Who I Smoke, which credited the song's producer and video's director, I assume, marking them both for certain death, When I See You has absolutely no credits. This thing is so disrespectful that understandably nobody wants to be affiliated with it as producer, director, runner, fluffer. There's one guy holding up the picture of the 3 murdered friends, and even he's got the good sense to keep his face covered. Hell, whatever print shop made that A2 poster for Foolio probably got spun the next day too. In the track, Foolio disses numerous dead ops, but with a particularly harsh focus.
Bruh, alright, bruh. Trap Lord Ross, the boys ain't stupid. They know who got something to do with some shit, and they know who ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Just trying to get some money, running a business. They know. Come on now. Come on now. Them niggas know.
On Ace's blood brother Quan and 23 who were killed in that car shooting with Ace. With Foolio ending the song with a fitting response to everybody out there who was still singing Who I Smoke, Bibby. With Foolio reminding everybody Rallo died with his heat for speaking on Bibby. When I See You blew up with the same energy of Who I Smoke, getting around 2 million views in 2 days and continuing to rack up millions of views as we speak. In fact, the video was doing so well, Foolio even went on live to flex his YouTube analytics, showing that this song was his biggest 48-hour debut on the platform.
This notification part right here say nice. More regular views are engaging with this video, helping it increase its reach. Then they sent me another notification, they sent me this.
Shit, that video did so well, I'm surprised YouTube didn't send Foolio that coveted message. Wow, the ops are clicking on this video and watching it longer than usual. You should reflect on which op packs get the best engagement when smoked so that you can more effectively diss the dead for clout. After all of the disrespect for the dead on both sides of this beef, especially on the song Who I Smoke, it's unsurprising that When I See You got a strong response. And Foolio actually went live after When I See You dropped to defend himself against a growing backlash that suggested that his response to Who I Smoke had gone a little too far.
But now I do what I do. Now I go too far. Now I'm going too far. How? Nigga was just shaking their ass and who they smoke, that and that. What matter about the name now? Not go niggas. Everybody mad. Everybody got frown faces. Oh, he going too far. He went too far. He went too far. He got a poster printed up, man. So no fuck what. Y'all niggas some hoes, man. Rest up, man. Hey, listen, rest up Rod K, man. Rest up Baby, man. Rest up Treddy. What's the nigga was just this? Now my dog, now it's my turn. Now these fuck niggas, man. Oh, he riding away. He fuck, and then he can't get them niggas back. Any fuck niggas went to a funeral lab, pussy ass niggas. He was dishing on me. Now I'm smoking 23.
Today, police said DeAndre Thomas was the shooter. They charged him with murder.
2 guilty verdicts were read, one for Henry Hayes and one for Kwame Richardson, who were tried separately.
Finally, her family has the answers they've been looking for. Police arresting 21-year-old Roland Ball Jr. for murder.
21-year-old Hakeem Robinson and his father, 49-year-old Abdul Robinson, are both in the Duval County Jail.
In the past 2 weeks, 6 people have been arrested linked to at least one of the killings.
I can't lie. Who I Smoke is a catchy-ass song. So is When I See You. And look, if you've watched one of my videos on gang beefs before, you know I have a habit of ending these things by saying, oh, I just hope these guys can focus on music, stop beefing, and leave the violence in the streets. But realistically, when you look at this story, so much has gone down on both sides. Brothers killed, mothers and fathers shot in their own homes, children as young as 2 years old being shot and killed in the crossfire. It would be naive to think for even a second that there is going to be some kind of positive outcome or resolution to this feud. There's nothing I could ever say to Ace or Foolio or anyone else involved that would make them see things differently. And as moving as his music is, Young and Ace could never make a song that will make me truly understand the pain of losing your 3 brothers in front of your very eyes. And I know some people will watch this video and accuse me of leeching off of a bad situation and a tragedy by making content out of it. But the reality is, there's very little any of our words can do to calm the tensions of these 2 groups of warring men. Bruh. Too much blood has been shed on both sides to think that there would ever be any kind of amicable resolution. The next best thing I think that we can do is just take a step back and take a mature look at this situation, to try and understand why everyone involved in this story was driven to act so viciously, so that the next generation of young men coming up in a place like Jacksonville or any city that's dangerous and disadvantaged can know the real consequences of being involved in this life. Perhaps there's some young people out there who really don't have the guidance in their life to tell them that recording a song or a social media clip saying that you're smoking a dead person or that you're going to smoke somebody could lead to your life being cut short early. Because despite being a catchy viral hit, the song Who I Smoke is really just about tragedy after tragedy. And all the peoples whose names that they're singing they smoked are real people with real families who missed them. This beef is particularly heartless. In fact, something I was taken aback by whilst I was researching this story was just how many of the people involved make reference to video games. I've heard numerous people joking in this beef that the ops lost a Fortnite battle, that they're getting kills like it's Warzone, or that somebody got wasted like it's GTA. That might sound like a funny diss in the moment, but some of these kids are really treating their lives like a video game. And I'm not trying to be funny when I say that when they get killed, they don't respawn. When they get arrested, they don't walk out of the police station $500 lighter and with none of the weapons they came in with. The mothers and fathers of the men who died in this deadly gang war are still grieving every day. Whether it's Queso putting a picture of him smoking the dead ops on his album cover, or the ATK boys dressing up in golf clothes and singing the names of who they smoke over a funny beat. This shit has got to stop. So I hope you found this video and this story interesting, but more importantly, I hope it's given you a better understanding of the reality behind some of the words in these songs. And in future, maybe think twice before you say you're smoking on Bibby, or Tuka, or Duck, and spare a thought for the brothers, sisters, the mothers, or even the children of the people you're saying that you're smoking in these songs. Because I know for a fact, you won't want somebody saying that they're smoking you or one of your loved ones. Thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate your time. And until next time.
Alright. I'm gonna say this one or two things. I'm gonna get up off here. First of all, it took me like 4 hours to record this. I think I started at 11. It's 2:55 in the morning. Another thing is that at the end he started saying he wished this shit can stop, and he also touched on it. It probably won't stop, but bruh, it's too far to even stop. It's too far. See all them folks that you had RLP pictures with? Think shit is gonna stop cold turkey after that? Hell no. Hell no. Honestly, me sitting here just looking at shit, I can't even think of a solution. It's gotta be what it is. It takes them, not us saying it. It takes them to want to stop. we can't do nothing. The fans, the bloggers, the say cheeses, the academics, none of them. The me's, the thems, no. They take whoever's involved, whoever's in the middle. But more than likely, this shit right here really opened my eyes to everything. This shit opened my eyes way more than a Said Too Raw video would have. Like, not in a million years I think this type of shit is going on in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, me knowing how crazy Florida niggas is, I didn't know. With these past couple months, me kind of diving into this shit, February into now, diving into this shit, it shouldn't really just, nigga, mind blowing. That these boys got a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit. And still at the end of the day, we still gotta take this documentary or timeline-omentary or whatever the fuck you wanna call it with a grain of salt. Not saying dude ain't do his research, but you know, shit ain't concrete. Cause if shit was concrete, a lot more motherfuckers would be in jail. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this shit is not concrete, but we taking it with a grain of salt. And not to downplay his shit, but you know, it is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? But for the most part though, I feel like this is the last. This explain everything. This explain everything. Now, after that, you shouldn't even. I think I got one more Said Too Raw video. I'm gonna go ahead and look at it and whatnot. Try to find it to make sure I post it before this, or I might post it after this one because I spent a lot of time on this video. This has got to go out. I'm sorry, it gots to. You know what I'm saying? But what I was getting to. Where the fuck was I getting to? Damn, I really done blanked out, bro. I really done blanked out. I mean, just know, man, this shit's crazy. Oh, I was saying, how I ain't got no more rapamentaries to do. That's facts. This explain everything. On my title list, this explain everything. Jacksonville Deadly Gang War. That's my title. I don't know if anybody else got that title, but I'm titling my shit that regardless. But yeah, man. From here on out, y'all might just see music videos from rappers I already do music videos on, or whatever y'all request. That's pretty much it. I ain't saying this closure, but I feel like we can kind of box this up and set it on the shelf for a little minute. Yeah. So I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be longer than the video itself. So if you made it to the end, put Dior in the comments. It's your boy Snore, I'm gone.